Ever since you made advances on me. Ever since you made advances on me. Ever since you made advances on me.
For
It's made me look fat.
for those of you that have never seen us before, we are the developers of Not4Broadcast.
Hello.
The game that has a brand new DLC out right now.
Well,
Yeah.
in
Well,
15
15
minutes.
Oh yeah, we've gone early.
Unless
yeah,
you're
yeah.
playing on PlayStation
Oh, yeah.
or Xbox, in which case
Then it
you
is
play
right now.
now.
Yeah.
In which case, why are you watching this? You should be playing it instead
Because
of.
it turns out coordinating multiple platforms is difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, hello, stream. And we can see your chat over here on the chat. I'm going to talk to this guy.
What did we decide? We decided it was what, a 10-second delay?
There's about a 10-second
Apparently,
delay.
George says our sound is peaking a bit. Apparently,
Peaking a
Okay.
bit. Well,
getting a bit peaky.
Our crew, because we have crew for this stream, could just nudge that down a bit on OBS. That'd be lovely. Just a quick layout of what's going to happen tonight. We're going to be running for a couple of hours with two very special guests that have come down and generated their time very generously to come and have a chat with us. We are going to be joined by Roger Albrecht and Claire Ratcliffe, who are going to come in. They played Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement.
I can't believe it. They're not really coming.
Yeah, they are coming.
No, I don't believe it.
Yeah. And they're probably going to be here any minute, I would
I
assume.
don't believe that either.
So
I've
much
been
so
fooled
that me and Andy are prepared to give up our seats on the
Yeah.
sofa for them. Would you
We are,
say
are
that? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
I
what
think
I
that's
promised
good.
them
I
that.
think
So,
that's
I quite like the sofa.
no. Well, unfortunately, mate. That was part of the rider for the guys. They wanted somewhere to sit. But
A lot of people complaining about the wide cam. Oh yeah, it does.
Oh
look
yeah,
bad.
it does look like it's
yeah,
exploded. We'll sort that at the first break.
we'll fix
What
that.
you can't see at home is that wide cam is basically in the sink where we do our washing. It's very possible that it's got drippage of some kind. If anybody here did any washing up, so it's probably fine.
No, it's definitely not got any drippage. That's it.
The game you can see in the bottom corner there is the game that we have made. That is not for broadcast. We're going to be playing that throughout the whole stream. Various people are going to be sitting up there and playing it. We have a schedule and a rota and everything, which we're going to stick to.
We're not going to stick to.
We are gonna stick to
Optimistically,
it.
we're going to try and skip it.
That being said, I suggest, Andy, we bugger off and let the interesting people come and chat.
I guess they made that all
So
the
we're going to leave, and we're going to leave you in the capable hands. Jay and Al.
We say leave, we're going to go back.
Well, we're going to sit
Just
there,
go loiter behind them.
but we're going to have a nice little chat to Roger and Julia.
Yeah,
So we're going to disappear.
Yeah, let's
and
see.
let them come
We're
on.
going
See
to
if
do a
they've
big.
made
We've got to
it.
do a big entrance. Obviously,
Yeah.
you guys get out of the
You
way.
get out of the way, and we'll give them a
We'll
minute.
line up over here.
We'll do a little panto bit. So in the chat, we're going to bring. Who should we bring out first? Let's bring out Claire first.
Yeah, let's bring out Claire first.
So
Ladies first.
if you'd like to see
On this one.
Claire, oh yeah, we're over there. Hello. Say hello to Claire. Then please in the chat, give it up. Until we see lots of love for Claire in the chat, we will not be bringing her out. So please go absolutely wild in text form.
Wouldn't it be brilliant if no one said anything and like she had to go?
Yeah, that's possible. But
Wow, a
we're
schedule.
also on a massive delay.
We're on a massive
so,
time delay from you, so yeah. I can see Claire off camera. She does not look happy. Doesn't look happy with this.
No, there we go.
Look, there's a hello.
There's some hellos with Roger and Julia.
Would you take a hello?
I mean,
No, it's not enough.
enough.
No, no. She's come a long way. She's just crossed all sorts of. There we go. Claire Wu.
Claire Wu. Hi,
There we
Claire.
go.
There it is. Give it up for Claire. And now we'd like to see. We're not talking to you. We'd like to see some sit there. Shut up. We'd like to see. How are
How
you?
it's going to go.
It is good. I
Right.
think it is.
Fine. Well, it was lovely chatting. Thank you. Tea.
No, thank you for coming in.
No worries
it's
at all.
really
Anyway,
nice. Brilliant. See you later.
Right.
At least you got a cup of tea.
Do you know what? It's the best I normally get.
Yeah.
It is better than
Yeah.
usual, isn't it? Handmade and in proper branded.
I
not
know.
shown
I'm very
up.
impressed. Anyway.
Anyway,
No,
before
rather than
we
not
get
the
to
actor.
you,
Let us bring another incredible actor.
a
It's only
star.
a star of our age.
Yeah.
It's only Roger Alborough. Roger.
Robert's here, everybody, and he also has tea.
Well, yes, I do. I do. I'm just waiting for the star and the interesting people to arrive.
We
Hello.
should have probably made that clearer.
Yeah.
Right,
That's
you
our
two,
fault.
that's your one over there.
Over there,
See that?
oh, wow.
Literally by the sink.
Okay.
In the sink. That's where they are.
So here we are.
Excellent.
Yes.
Right.
Welcome.
Look at all the love there for Julia coming up on the screen from about a minute
Yeah, I was
ago.
going to say, I'll
Yeah,
take that.
yeah.
I'll take that on.
Yeah, take it.
It may very well be that they're just shouting Julia over Roger's entrance, but I wouldn't take
But
that.
there'll be a
personally,
slight
but-
delay, and then there'll all
Yeah,
be about
a bit
you.
like my performance, really.
You said it. I don't. It's fine.
You've seen it.
This, I think, maybe the first time that everyone has seen you guys together out
As
of
yourselves.
character. I think, right?
I think it is, isn't it?
That's
You are?
Yeah, because bits of your life's coming out today, but
Yeah.
the last time you two saw each other was probably on the set of Bits of Your Life,
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was.
Which was last
October.
October. October,
Yeah,
yeah.
so more than
Only
a
a year
year.
ago.
So what you're really
God.
seeing, folks, is a reunion, like reality TV
It is.
level.
Yeah.
When I
Yeah.
found, well, you should have seen me when Roger walked in. I went a bit insane, didn't I?
It was a shame. We
No more than you.
save it for the stream, but they've sort
Like-
of got off each other
Oh,
now.
I
It's
really
become
genuinely
cold.
love this man. He's just the loveliest human being.
Hey, steady on, steady on.
Okay, that's it. I've done it now.
Hello.
There's
Right.
a lot of
Hello.
hellos,
Hello.
hellos, people
Roger.
being starstruck. You two are so cool, says Levi Toddy
Ooh.
Boy.
That was about me.
Yeah, a lot of love
that's
over
always
there.
about you. Gotta be, but you're going to have to read this out because, of course, I haven't got my reader. Hello.
Which is
Sorry.
yet further
That's good
proof
as well,
that Roger
sorry.
does not use an auto cue if
Thank
ever
you.
needed. He can't actively read one.
Subtle.
Yeah.
So, right.
Right.
Is the ceiling triple seal? Do we guys need new lining?
Yeah, this is not Peter Clement, really.
Yeah, otherwise it's going to be all
I thought it was going to be all DIY. All night.
Yeah, I am actually. I was at my daughter's this last weekend, and I was doing some DIY.
What were you up to?
Well, what she's got. It's a little coat rack for my 18-month-old granddaughter, and it just used these sticky pads on the wall, and it just fell off. And I thought, well, how can it support the weight of these enormous
Those sticky
18-month-old
pad things.
clothes?
They're the only things I'm allowed to use
Oh,
in
the
my
command
flat
grip.
because I'm not allowed to put a nail in them.
Well, I did. I put 2 nails in. It's fine now.
See, that's it. Old
The arm
school.
just
Yeah.
wild.
The legend.
Give me an hammer. I'm dangerous.
His daughter has subsequently been evicted. No.
Not me though.
Yeah, that's a good point. And to be fair, the thing's still hanging.
Or else I'm been back.
It'd be brilliant if you got a phone call like in an hour, it's fallen down.
You know that coat? Yeah, no, yes, I do. I do like it. Only because I've been so broke all my life, I couldn't afford to pay professionals. That's all.
Acting, it's a great job, kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know my old principal from drama school, and I thanked him the other day for taking me on the course and making me poor for 47 years. True, he laughed, but it's true.
Yeah, paying for it as well, don't you now? Did you have to pay for drama school?
No, I was lucky. I had my grant and I had my tuition paid.
That's nice.
So that was great. Yeah, I mean, I came from a working class family, and my parents would never have been able to afford it.
Yeah.
Like today, I mean, the kids. And my daughter has just finished training as a nurse, and she's 60 grand in debt. 60 grand in debt.
To be a nurse.
She did a degree prior to the nursing degree, and she's 60,000 in debt.
That's insane.
Yeah, and it stops a lot of people.
That's why Roger is running for Prime Minister.
Because I care. Especially about you.
Yes.
Sometimes the other one, but
Yeah, occasionally, but mainly then.
Yeah.
We're going to be launching Bits of Your Life in about 5 minutes on PC, which is quite exciting, and we're going to have a little drink and celebrate that. I think.
yeah.
Can
very
I
exciting.
check, what is Den doing?
So we conveniently, because we've given up our seats for you, I've sat behind you, but in the shot I'm right behind you. Sound man that shouldn't be it. So
That shot is an excellent. Andy's only in the wide.
I'm only in the wide, just loitering on the side.
yeah,
The wide doesn't work, mate. You're basically
the
invisible.
wide does that. The
Oh, the
wide's
wide's
back.
working again.
Yeah, the wide should be back. Seats for you. I've sat behind you, but in the shot I'm right behind you. Sound man that shouldn't be it. So
That shot is an excellent. Andy's only in the wide.
I'm only in the wide, just loitering on the side.
yeah,
The wide doesn't work, mate. You're basically
the
invisible.
wide does that. The
Oh, the
wide's
wide's
back.
working again.
Yeah, the wide should be back. Let's have a look. Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
Marvelous.
Lovely stuff.
But yeah, now eventually I'm going to disappear and we're going to have a normal number of people. One person playing.
I don't think you should. I think it adds something.
I think
It's the thing I love is when you cut to you two and then just there drinking.
Levi Teddyboy says, I just want to say that Peter Clement really reminds me of my own grandfather when he's having a bit of fun. The man is one of the greatest people I know alive, and the way you remind me makes me want to cry. Bravo.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's really beautiful.
Very sweet.
Thank
One
you.
of the brilliant things I think about doing this stream is because, like both of you, I imagine most of our experience has been theatre, or it certainly has for me, where you get that applause, you get that response from the audience, and then you come and do these games. And I would say you shot it last October.
Yeah.
It's releasing today. The stream becomes such a lovely way, I think, to get an audience response, which you don't normally get to do.
Well, yeah, I mean, with anything on camera, so I don't need to take over. I'm taking over.
no, it's all about you, darling.
No, it is.
In fairness, this one is all about you.
Yeah.
Literally
No,
about
but as you say, Jack, I mean, when you work on camera, you just do a take and then another take and then maybe another take or however many takes it is, but you get no real response back as opposed to live theatre when you've got the audience reaction. So it's a very different thing. So it's really lovely to have this feed and to have contact with everybody. So thank you.
Talking of granddads though, Rog, I must admit, I was watching the racing channel the other day and I saw you pop up in an advert
Did you?
pretending to be way older.
Yeah.
Not pretending. It's called acting.
Revealing.
No, it didn't cost him anything, but he was trained for that.
Yeah, I
pretending.
saw Roger pretending that he couldn't bend down to do some gardening. Oh, he's lying.
I've seen what I can do with those legs.
Yeah, it was.
It's probably CGI. You probably bent down in the shot.
Yeah.
Because I'd seen you in Black Mirror.
All right.
But yeah, I hadn't seen you pop up anywhere else. And then, of all places, the racing channel. I was just like, wow, okay.
That'll be 4 pence in
Yeah,
repeat.
What were you doing watching the racing channel more importantly?
I was losing a lot of
car
money on the
racing.
horses. Yeah.
That's the budget for the next thing. Damn it. We are 3 minutes, by my estimate, away from the launch of Bits of Your Life.
Yeah, it goes live at 6 o'clock.
Kino Rogers, welcome back, says, I honestly cannot wait to immerse myself in this community again. I missed you all. I'm so excited for this.
Aww.
That's
Wonderful.
very sweet.
Wonderful.
Julia Salisbury goes from making me giggle a little to genuinely making me shiver with fear when she makes her speech at the end.
I'll take that.
That's range,
That's
mate.
good.
Okay, yeah, that's
You've
good
got
acting.
range. That's proper
Yeah.
good.
I mean, that's what my husband says as well.
What,
that,
that
you know,
you've
make
got
him,
range?
make him giggle a little bit, and then like
Was that in his vows?
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was a whole thing. But after we've launched, I'll tell the story about when we were on the phone and we managed to have to apologise to my son
Oh,
because
recently.
of the screaming.
Yeah.
Well, there's a story. We'll tell the
Yeah,
story.
we'll tell the story, yeah.
Like-
Well, actually, when we come back after the break, I believe in the next section, we're going to ask you to play the main game and generally sort of yell in from over where Andy currently is.
We are 1 minute away from launch. It's
I'm
very
excited.
exciting.
Oh,
I've seen this.
Yeah, very exciting. I expect a lot of the chat will suddenly disappear to go and play
Yeah.
the game
Yeah.
and leave us alone for
Yeah.
most of it.
Once they finish downloading it,
So that'll be
it's
7
quite
to
large.
8 hours
Yeah,
later.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
fairly
Well,
large
we'll
because
just-
we believe in value for money, I think.
Yeah.
That's
Certainly true.
We will say that for those of you that are on the stream that are worried that we're about to completely spoiler the new DLC, we are not going to be playing it tonight. It's so that we don't spoiler it.
15
So
seconds.
you have enough time to go and play it. What we will be playing tonight is the base game, which you have to own
10,
to then go and play.
9, 8.
So go out and buy the base game, download it, and then you can buy the DLC, which goes live now.
Oh, that was so well.
Spoil is live.
What?
Live, which is an add-on for notforbroadcast, is now live. If you haven't played the base game, it's also on the Steam Daily Deal, which is a really, I think it's 70% off.
Yeah,
or
it's a
something. So
massive discount
a
today.
really good deal. So go and grab it. We'll be playing it very shortly, so you can get a sense of it. But yeah, try it out.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it. Did you
we-
see how
do we
weird
go
it
now?
is?
Yeah.
Like in the office, nothing happens.
It's
It's not like curtain up, is it? It's like, here we go. Hey.
I mean, you could have got some
Has
music.
anyone
I was
downloaded
thinking like
it?
lounge music or something.
Yeah, we should have music. We've got one more DLC.
Jay, you should write something.
I will. I'll
Maybe
write something
like,
for the next DLC
some
that
backing
gets
track.
us out the door. Some sort of music.
yeah, you
Yeah.
Come
could
on,
do
Jay,
that.
you should work harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always said that.
I hardly
Yeah.
got anything on my plate. Well, this replaces the tea nicely. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you
Dan.
might
Yeah.
have to hold them. They're not. The budget was thin.
No, it wasn't. It was perfectly adequate
Fine.
for what we need.
And it's actually
you
just
hold out
sparkling
the
water,
pieces
right? Just
Yeah.
yeah.
It's fake wine.
Yeah, it's-
Sugar glass. We're going to break it over each other's heads. Oh, there's a good story from Bits. Oh, no, we can't tell that one. Okay, no, that is a spoiler. Yeah.
Happy
Oh.
DLC to everybody.
It's
We have people
updating.
updating
Oh.
theirs right now as we speak.
Yeah, that's
Very,
fantastic.
very exciting.
Have you seen that? The
I've got to plug my head.
Are you vaguely aware of what happens, considering you were there?
Did I say the words? Or if they weren't my words, then probably not.
I noticed that you'd say your lines and then it'd be dead,
Dead.
until the next line, and then you'd come back in and
Did you
it's
say
dead.
something that wasn't my life?
Right.
One of the announcements today that went out on our Discord said, Bits Up Your Life like uncensored, unrestrained, unscripted, and I was like, "What's this now?" What? I was in that room
You
for
are-
bloody hours. Did that.
That has been said.
So thank you for
multiple times.
writing.
Yeah.
You know, like,
That has been said multiple times though.
Yeah, it
Both
has.
your writing is the delivery, way it comes feels.
yeah, it feels live.
But yeah.
The actors.
I think it's
Yeah.
the paraphrasing.
I think it's the fear in our eyes. Trying to remember how it's changed on this.
Yeah.
Probably there.
Yeah.
Yeah, bits of your life is especially challenging because the player has to repeat the same thing many, many times, each time a bit different. And I think that's a really big for actors. And we shot a lot in a day. We shot a 20-minute one-act
we did,
play
yeah.
every day.
Every day.
Really something.
You had it tough. I
They had to watch me.
yeah, they did actually.
And now for the very, very low price of 7% off, you too can watch.
70% off.
I think we're going to go to a little break. We're going to now play for the first time the Boyle trailer. I think Jay should do a little toast.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
To all of you, thank you so much for your support. Please enjoy Boyle and let us know what you think over the coming weeks on the Discord and in the chat. In a few minutes.
We've had worse.
Or being figuratively sodomized into submission. Let's have a go with Miss Thompson.
Okay.
And here we valley well are.
Good stuff.
Brilliant!
So,
A mysterious symbol has appeared overnight. Could this be the daring first move?
Peter Clement. There was some piss I don't know.
And an attempt was made to something on it.
What? Are you joking?
we're only started.
Alex, you're going to get me
In disgrace!
Very. Hand off our fingers. Should we ask who we're having?
If you fire a single shot, limits for the death toll in 2 minutes. Stand your
Jesus!
Well, if that doesn't distract you from the world outside, I don't know what will.
That's all coming up on tonight's
National Nightly News.
Good evening. My name is Peter Clement. You might remember me from television programs like Just the Job and Petey. In those shows, I got to know you, the public.
We want our money. Yes, very good. Take them away.
And I came to the conclusion that you deserve more than you are getting.
Here, buy yourself something nice. Buy yourself something twice as nice. Buy yourself something thrice as nice.
And that's I'm running as Prime Minister with my co-leader, Julia Salisbury.
Are we friends?
I bloody hope so, or I've made a dreadful mistake.
With us in charge, things will be fairer. Things will be calmer.
There is not gonna be a dog, Eric!
I look around the world and like you, I see the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer.
That, Peter Clement, is the reason you wake up in morning in cell facing firing squad, yes?
But if you lend me your vote in 7 weeks' time, maybe
These two will up your life.
we can make the world sane again. And as my old mam used to say,
If you got a pretty chuff, you should wave it in the fellas' faces, as they say down the pit.
thank you very much for your time.
Hello, 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 hello. hello. Why?
Right, but the one player actually waving frantically back there. Quite charismatic.
Yeah, she's playing in time. Good, because Gamble is about to occur. You're in for 15 minutes here, Claire, which is just enough time to reach your own first appearance, I reckon.
A speed through.
Yeah.
Is the broadcast screen. That's
I
what
will
the
go
viewers
pro
are seeing at
advance.
home. It's only a couple of seconds behind the master
That's a
screen.
really good idea.
Yeah.
Go totally pro advance.
And ideally try and get my children.
And you managed it.
Yeah.
Coming from the studio, and you can choose between
I haven't played tutorial for such a long time. I was like
mixer at the bottom left.
a while done there.
Yeah. You have to sort of learn how to play the game.
Have a look to your left.
Zeke wants to know if it's the first time we've seen you with glasses.
I
don't think Julia wears.
Julia doesn't have glasses.
No, Julia never wears
Which is
glasses.
why she squints.
Yeah. Very serious.
Particularly early on when the auto key was quite small.
Wasn't it?
It was small, but it was in the right place. Later we moved to bigger, but not necessarily on the camera line. They're quite expensive, auto cues.
I think I like the one where you have to take the top so that the eye line was at
That sounds like something
That sounds exactly like how it's done in Hollywood.
It was too high, so they had to gaffer tape it so that your eye line was right. I enjoyed that a lot. Right.
We're quite quiet, apparently.
And we're losing the audio quite a lot.
Right, Rog, what do you want? Do you want Crazy Neil, Come to Bunley, My Salad Weekly, or Exercised Ham Sleeves or Alan James? Not Alan James, rubbish. The others.
Yeah, them.
Them, okay. You met Crazy Neil before? No. Okay, we'll do this. Right.
No, you've never done a scene with Neil, have you?
No.
We'll do these. Okay.
Claire is a bit more experienced in this game.
Select screen one with the vision mixer, and we're ready to go.
Have you?
Yeah.
A lot.
Corn and mayonnaise?
Only for my bits.
You've actually
It
played.
got on YouTube, I just watched
Did
it.
you play Bits of Your Life? You did recently,
I
didn't
did,
you?
yes. I got a sneak peek and I did complete all the options. I was mildly obsessed. Like, it's really funny, and I can't say anything about it, but it's really funny. It's funny. It's really funny. It's really funny. And there was
that right here.
I know.
Yeah. If I go off, you can tell them what you really
No, I really liked it, and I did laugh out loud quite a lot, and some of them. Just well, that's my own stuff, obviously. Sheer talent. Never was there. No, it was the. Oh, I can't say. Yeah, it was just silly, and it got sillier and sillier and sillier.
Megan will be chatting with movie star Lawrence
Actually, what I really like
about his new movie, The Medicated.
Is
And, of course, we're beginning
as with all your
to
stuff, right? It's
headquarters
stupid
to hear
and
what the
funny,
leaders of
but also there's real emotion and real feeling, and it's real, and
There's a core of truth.
yeah, there's
Next thing is to throw back to Jeremy with
Even
button
the
one
most extreme
when
and
that
absurd
globe
bit.
in the middle
Core of truth.
shrinks down and vanishes.
Thank you. I mean, I really
Yeah, it is.
appreciate
It's
that.
true.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
That is definitely always the intention, I think. I think you can always sort of try and pull people in with a bit of humour and a bit of silliness, and then you can sort of rabbit punch them after that. Start too maudlin from the beginning, you kind of tune out a little bit, don't you? You don't really care about it. It's hard to care about the
think you
characters
risk
if you don't
putting
smile.
people off of it.
It's
Yeah.
a truism that you know if you want to have the greatest impact, something serious or significant, if you sandwich it between comedy, then the contrast is so great that the impact really strikes home.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think some of my favourite comedies, like sitcoms and stuff like that, like, do you remember a show Ever Decreasing Circles?
Yeah.
With Richard Bryars, which was so painful as well as so funny and tragic, and Bryars was really amazing. He's pretty amazing. I still if Richard Bryars, if you're out there,
It does 70% off, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're getting a lot of comments. Can you guys in the tech department see the comments? Sound balance is off, struggling to hear the conversation over the game.
To be honest, it's not worth hearing. Just listen to the game.
What, the conversation?
Yes.
Rude.
Thanks, Claire.
You know you're coming back to this Stoker in 5 minutes.
It's going to be a pretty frosty summer.
This is 2 hours of awkward with Not Games. Well, I'm quite glad I had that fizz. I caned mine.
Yeah, you're thirsty.
Yeah.
I'm quite giggly.
I'm back on the
such
team
a
now.
lightweight when it comes to fizz. I just start giggling.
I can only have one because I'm driving, aren't I?
Oh, yeah. Got your camper then?
Yeah, I got the car today. Still got lost. I always get lost when I come here.
Yeah, Roger's only been coming here for 4 years.
We live in somewhat of a Bermuda Triangle where wherever you approach from, it's sort of.
Well, certainly as far as my sat nav's triangle.
Yeah, and many a delivery driver at
Exactly,
lunchtime as well. Yeah, they're getting used to us now. They're starting to. Amazon seems to know where we are now. Like, everything from Amazon seems to arrive. This is where the rage begins. Yeah, we're going to sort that out for you, Shadow of Shinra, so that you can hear us louder than the game.
Or we could just repeat what the game said. I'll do the.
That's crazy, Neil, on the right there
Yeah.
on the
Oh, right,
screen.
okay.
That guy playing him is Stuart Morrison, who was stand-up and sort of. He used to do. Like, he won't like me for saying this, but I'm going to because I've known him for years. He used to do these awful gigs in sort of like really bad clubs up north, where he would be like sort of Boratta-like or an Ali Gia-like, and he'd turn up and there'd be, yeah, it's wet t-shirt competition tonight, mate, and he'd have to host that, you know, and stuff like that. And like, he's a really good comedian in his own right, and he'd come back from them like, oh my God, my soul is dying, you know. I'm like trying to do jokes. They're not there for jokes. No.
That's a fun game. In our lives as performers, what is like the most sort of soul-crushing gig or audition you've ever had to do?
Oh, that's a great question.
I once did an audition, but I didn't get the job. For I think it was Mentos, like the mints, and it involved like twerking. And there was like a group of like very corporate people with like just, you know, it's one of these sort of, it's a really normal scene, and then suddenly everybody starts dancing. Like, yeah, if you could just sort of shake your booty there for us for a bit. And I was like,
The weirdest one I did was for a commercial, and I had to mime milking a wooden cow.
which is obviously different to miming an actual cow.
Well, of course,
Gotta know.
splinters.
That's what drama school.
There you go. There you go. That was weird.
That was weird. Is that an advert, you said?
It's an advert. I can't even remember.
There's always
what it's
this. There's always the adverts that are the most big experiences.
Yeah, because in 30 seconds, there's not a lot of character to play with, even.
No, you are just a clothes horse.
Man who smells fart at party. Yeah.
And they're often like written and, you know, a whole thing managed by people who have no contact with actors or the arts whatsoever, and they're just corporate arseholes. Sell things. Like Claire.
Like Claire. Who's trying to sell a game right
Yeah.
now.
For you.
70% off today.
70%
Thank you.
off.
Very good.
Excellent. Roger's better at this than we are.
Yeah.
It's really embarrassing.
Professional.
Yeah, right? This is it.
We have if you have any questions in the chat for Roger, for Claire, for us, I mean, you've heard loads from us, so for Roger and Claire mainly. Flux says, how has the pressure of today been up to release?
Been all right, because with games, you have the whole thing ready. Like, from our perspective, it hasn't changed much since the beta we ran months ago, because after that, it has to be dubbed into Russian and Chinese and ported to Xbox and PlayStation. So nowadays we try and have the build from the PC perspective sort of finished way back, and then you kind of
Gotten
move
quite good
on.
at that, actually.
Yeah.
Used to be sort of fixing it on the day, but actually now, because of all this stuff that has to happen ahead, it means everything takes longer, so our releases are much better.
Claire, someone wants to know, shouldn't there be a law or something against the Prime Minister personally editing the news?
I think it's fine.
I've got a Miss S. Braverman on the phone.
Yeah. Yeah, but unemployment is a life choice, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's very much like homelessness.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Fine, but just to reassure you, I'm not biased in the slightest.
For some reason, this question keeps coming up about waffles.
Debs and Peter and Julia, what kind of waffles do you like? You got any waffle
I like
preferences?
potato
I like
waffles.
potato waffles
Yeah,
more
I'm
than
big
the
on
like
potato
sweet
waffles.
I would take a potato waffle. Bit of cheese on top.
I quite like the sweet waffles with maple syrup.
have bacon with it.
Can do, yeah.
Oh, I
You're offering, yeah.
Pancakes with maple syrup and bacon and banana.
Oh, what?
What are you
Now?
doing?
What's this
Come on.
now?
Live.
I love pancake and bacon and maple syrup.
Banana, try it with banana as well.
I will.
With all those.
I was very hesitant when someone first offered it to me.
I know, but it's
And
an
it's
amazing
incredible, isn't it?
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, not cheap. Not good maple syrup is you know,
Maple syrup.
the lack of maple forests in the south of England being the primary reason for that, I assume.
George Brub 772 has a question for Claire. I heard from one of the devs, I think it was Andy, that the actor who played Patrick Bannon is brilliant, a really nice and genuine guy. Can you confirm this?
From George
From
Brub.
George, yeah.
George.
You remember Patrick Bannon? He's basically just a
the
moustache.
little blonde girl.
No, not the little blonde girl.
No, the
that
sort
was
of
your
big bag
daughter.
of arrogance that's stuck.
Honestly, he is a dickhead.
Big
Like,
bag of arrogance.
total dickhead. It's
So
crazy.
thanks for your question, George.
But yeah,
Thank you, George.
for that.
Yeah, no, thanks.
Do
for
buy
Honestly.
the DLC a couple of times.
Yeah, dude.
Shadow of Shinra doesn't like banana, but you guys are making my sweet tooth itch. There you go. Grab a waffle. But after you've started downloading bits of your life, obviously.
Hello from Russia. Hello, Russia.
All
Blimey.
of Russia.
Well,
How are you?
Blimey. Agree with George, Roman says.
Typically, Thomas says, of course, Claire likes potato waffles. It's a good palate cleanser after the 3 potato pie.
It is. Well, I
That's a
tell you what I do
reference I'd
like is,
forgotten.
you know, the potato waffle, and then
You
you put
wrote
beans
that.
on
Yeah,
it,
I
and
know.
then cheese, and then another potato waffle, and have it like as a
A
sandwich.
Ooh.
Hang on, no. I've got a question there. I would say there's an issue with the holes.
Well, no, because you've got
Well,
to sort
the
of...
beans is going to sit.
Well, no, because you've got to get the thick
Well, I think-
beans. You can't get like the cheap ones where it sort of just
Got to get the Heinz.
yeah, like the proper
Other
quality.
beans
Other
are
beans
available.
Right. And yeah, because then it soaks in quite nicely. But you can't do too much, and you kind of almost have to overcook it so it congeals a bit. Then it goes in. I'll make it you next time.
I've
Yeah,
only
I'd like it.
recently discovered the potato
Oh,
waffle
hang
in
on,
the
I've got
toaster, which is actually a revelation.
Really?
A potato waffle in the toaster. In like
Doesn't
5
it?
minutes.
What, just
Cook
like
it in the
normal bread?
toaster.
Or
Like
do you have
normal
to
bread.
put it
Out
in
the
a-
freezer.
Out of the freezer, into the toaster.
Do you not know this?
I do them in the oven.
See? It's quick. It's quick, and you get a nice toasted waffle in 5
Fine.
minutes.
No, I didn't know
I'm
that.
slightly shocked.
Need to
What about vegetables? People not eat vegetables.
Here at Not Games, we are giving you the up-to-date, cutting-edge news, mostly about potatoes and not really about games.
Oh, sorry.
What I'm enjoying is we're just coming up on the second break.
Yeah.
And any moment now in the game, Claire will reach her own performance. And we're
Ooh,
going to have
we
to jump
cut
to
and-
break.
And we will. We'll
No,
wait.
you won't.
We're going to wait till you
You will
appear,
not.
and then we're going
We're
to
all
a
going to be
break.
silent and
No, we're
Listen
not.
to the acting.
yeah, because there was some quality there.
When we come back after this break, it will be resuming just after Claire's first appearance. No, we'll go back in. We'll go back in at your
Leak
bit.
says Claire is managing to be interviewed and playing with a more than decent game performance. Have you played before, Claire?
No.
Unfortunately, she's not a very good actor, so you.
She has played before, and she's actually one of the few in the cast that plays games. Because often we have cast on, and obviously they're not gamers particularly, and they're actors and they're busy. So they've never. Well, I say busy. Yeah.
Fedorov would like to know what holidays people like. Guys, what have you as a particular holiday of choice?
What do you mean, like
I think
like
going
Christmas,
away.
like,
Christmas
where
or-
do you go?
Oh, I was
If
imagining
you could
sort of
just
summer
pause.
holiday, but
Yeah, pause.
Pause there. Let's pause there because we're going to go to a little break. We're going to show you the trailers again because obviously part of the point of this, if you're new to us, is that we are trying to persuade you to buy our game Not for Broadcast. These are two of the amazing actors in the game who play the Prime Ministers, co-Prime Ministers. If you have spare money and you're browsing Steam, give it a go. Give it a go. Here's a trailer that will show you why you
Good
should
one.
give it a go. It's a good trailer.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight. But first, the votes are in and it's a decisive win for Advance.
What do you make of this historic election result?
So perhaps we should all be celebrating. Except for the rich. I mean, a lawyer and a TV personality running the country. Seriously?
We've had worse.
What does the future look like to you?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission.
Let's have a go with this old democracy thing.
Okay.
And here we valley well are.
Good stuff.
Brilliant!
So,
A mysterious symbol has appeared overnight. Could this be the daring first move of a silent resistance movement?
Yeah, a government. Good bond. Peter Clement. There are some pissants who just don't know how to be.
And an attempt was made to censor some of your notes.
What? Are you joking?
We're only getting started.
No disrupt. No resistance. Oh, Alex, you're going to get me in trouble with that.
Your channel is a f***ing disgrace.
I'm sorry, it's very hot. But before we all hand off our freedoms, should we ask them who we're handing them over?
please, we can't show you. Cut to the ads.
Give us a hug.
If you fire a single shot, initial estimates put the death toll into the millions. Mr. Blundercatch, I understand you're upset, but we can...
Jesus!
Good job, everybody!
Meal of an Eastern...
Well, if that doesn't distract you from the world outside, I don't know what will.
That's all coming up on tonight's
National Nightly News.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight. But first, the votes are in and it's a decisive win for Advance.
What do you make of this historic election result?
So perhaps we should all be celebrating.
Except for the rich.
I mean, a lawyer and a TV personality running the country. Seriously?
We've had worse.
What does the future look like to you?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission. Let's have a go at this whole democracy thing.
Okay.
And here we valley well are.
Good stuff.
Brilliant!
So,
A mysterious symbol has appeared overnight. Could this be the daring first move of a silent resistance movement?
Yeah, a government. Good bond. Peter Clement. There are some pissants who just don't know how to be.
And an attempt was made to censor some of your notes.
What? Are you joking?
We're only getting started.
No disrupt. No resistance. Oh, Alex, you're going to get me in trouble with that.
Your channel is a f***ing disgrace.
I'm sorry, it's very hot. But before we all hand off our freedoms, should we ask them who we're handing them over?
please, we can't show you. Cut to the ads.
Give us a hug.
If you fire a single shot, initial estimates put the death toll into the millions. Mr. Blundercatch, I understand you're upset, but we can...
Jesus!
Good job, everybody!
Meal of an Eastern...
Well, if that doesn't distract you from the world outside, I don't know what will.
That's all coming up on tonight's
National Nightly News.
Good evening. My name is Peter Clement. You might remember me from television programs like Just the Job and Peter. In those shows, I got to know you, the public.
We want our money. Yes, very good. Take them away.
And I came to the conclusion that you deserve more than you are getting.
Here, buy yourself something nice. Buy yourself something twice as nice. Buy yourself something thrice as nice. Get yourself down and take some money.
And that's why I'm running as Prime Minister with my co-leader, Julia Salisbury.
Are we friends?
I bloody hope so, or I've made a dreadful mistake.
With us in charge, things will be fairer. Things will be calmer.
There is not gonna be a thing, Eric!
I look around the world and like you, I see the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer.
That, Peter Clement, is the reason you wake up in morning in cell facing firing squad, yes?
But if you lend me your vote in 7 weeks' time, maybe,
These two will up your life.
we can make the world sane again. And as my old mam used to say,
Well, if you got a pretty chuff, you should wave it in the fellas' faces, as they say down the pit.
thank you very much for your time.
Hello,
And we are back.
hello. Welcome back. We've swapped everybody around.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alex is now.
I'm Claire now.
He's Claire now.
You're looking great for it. You've grown. You're taller.
And
I'll just sit here and talk about how good.
Could
Next
you?
sort of 10 minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
There she is.
Oh, how great is Julia in that?
She doesn't look.
Did you just wave at me on the screen?
You see, that's why.
There's a tiny
That's
Claire
why-
inside the screen.
This is why Roger doesn't play the game. He doesn't understand the
All in
concept.
real life.
Amazing.
Isn't that big?
Yeah, for those of you that are just joining us, hello. We are the developers and some of the lead actors of Not for Broadcast, the game that is currently playing in the on the screen right now. We are playing through the main base game at the moment, which is available right now for 70% off on Steam. If you just scroll down a little bit on our store page from where we're talking, you'll be able to buy it.
Just one click.
Just one click.
Boom.
Well, probably a
Probably
couple of clicks,
more.
you know.
Get your credit card.
Yeah,
Credit card
yeah,
of
yeah.
someone you know.
But yes, but also we are celebrating, as the front of the desk says there, the launch of Bits of Your Life, which is the second DLC that is available on a deluxe pass, deluxe edition, or a season pass if you're on Steam, because it is available now on console and on Steam. So please go out there, buy it, support us. We're a small indie dev team that are making world record breaking amounts of FMV content for you guys out there. So please go and enjoy it. Get your questions in the chat, especially for these two, because those of you that know, we do a live stream on Twitch every
First Monday of the
of every month. So you're probably used to asking us all the questions, but these guys come in every now and then to answer questions. So please, if you've got any questions for Roger or for Claire, fire them into the chat and we will bring them off. That's my spiel done. You
That
can
was
carry on.
really good.
Yeah.
I think Den's come in and it's got a lot more professional. I think resting
still
Den was
here.
a mistake.
He's been practicing that.
We're being repeatedly asked
About
in the chat
holidays.
about holidays. What is everybody's favourite holiday, and what do you
I
do?
mean,
on-
actually, destinations or.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I hadn't even thought of that. Yeah, let's do that because otherwise
I
it's
was
just.
just about to slag off Halloween, so let's go with that
Yeah,
one.
'cause otherwise
I was
we're-
going to say I like most holidays, but Halloween can go do one for me.
Why?
I just it's
hate
too,
fun?
no it's
Hates
it's
sweets
a
and
holiday that
children.
isn't
Children enjoying
particularly
themselves.
it's
No,
not
always got
celebrated
tricks.
big enough in the UK.
Yeah.
Only like maybe a quarter of the people in a street like to do it. The other 3/4, it just costs you money to go out and buy shit to then give to. I don't know. It's not my type of holiday. That.
I'm with you. We went out because I don't particularly like it, but the kids like sweets, right? So we took
Yeah.
the kids out. And there was this poor woman who, they clearly had some building work done, so she'd cornered off her drive. But it looked like she'd put that police tape on, so everyone was going to her door going, "Hi, trick or treat!" I'm not doing it! I'm trying to stop you going on my drive, which you've just walked up my
I
drive.
mean, there is something wonderfully English about Halloween, though, over here. Because in America, it's like the biggest
Yeah, right.
all
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Over here, it's like, well, if you want to put a pumpkin outside,
Yeah.
then we know it's polite.
We might
to
not.
want
Yeah,
you to
yeah,
do it.
yeah.
If you don't want us to come, just don't put the
Yeah,
pumpkin.
that's true.
I got my house got egged last year on Halloween,
really?
which has put me right off Halloween. No, I didn't hear them knock, but when I woke up, I mean, it must have been about I went to bed about 12:30, 1 in the morning, and not egged. The next morning, I woke up with an egg on the front. I live on a high street, so I'm not even sure that it was
I just- how
that
do you
I
know
was
it wasn't
given the
just a hate
option of a
crime?
treat. Yeah, I think it might have been. It could be just anti-Semitic.
I really hate it.
Really don't like you. What's your favourite holiday?
One we did last January. Normally, like most people, we go away somewhere warm. We actually went to Finland, to the Arctic Circle.
Great country.
Oh,
And
you've been
just
there.
had like a week, 10 days, husky sledging, snowmobiling, ice fishing. Didn't catch anything, but it was just amazing, wonderful. I mean, we've never done anything like it, but we'll do it.
Is the ice fishing the one where you have to literally cut a hole in the
you
ice
use
and then...
an auger, a spiral, and you
And a
just
what?
auger.
Auger?
Archimedean spiral, darling.
Oh, thank you.
It's like a drill bit,
Thanks.
and you drill in the ice,
Yeah.
and then we have tiny little fishing rods, which is kind of academic.
Yeah.
Not one of
So, whereabouts were you, Roger? You must have been fairly north.
Yeah, we were in the north, in the Arctic Circle. I can't
Yeah.
remember the name of the actual place now.
Yeah, because we went to Helsinki, which obviously.
Yeah, we then flew
capital.
from Helsinki for
Yeah.
another hour and a half.
Lovely.
But you enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, we loved it. We didn't travel up north. We kind of stayed in the city.
All right.
We had like a little cabin.
I mean, the most amazing thing was the husky sledding.
Yeah,
Because I thought, they'd have a driver and we'd be sitting on it, but no. My wife sat on the sled first, and I was driving for the first half, and then we swapped. And
Brilliant.
it was just amazing. The dogs go berserk when they're waiting to go.
Really?
But the moment they start running, absolutely.
Wow. How about you, Claire? What's
Beat
your
that.
favourite? You've been pulled by dogs? I'll take that as a no. All right, moving on. Jay, how about you, mate?
I've been pulled by dogs. I'm in a van.
So early in the evening.
No.
Where's your favourite holiday, Claire?
So I like destination wise, we went to Disney this year. We did Disney.
Okay.
Which one?
Orlando.
Oh, the
So,
good one.
like proper Disney.
How were the queues?
Yeah, not great. But it was fine. I don't think the kids liked it.
Is it
You
fine
spend your
now?
entire time going, "Come on, kids, it's Ariel, isn't it wonderful?" And they're like, "Yeah."
How old are the kids?
So like 7 and 10.
22
yeah,
and 29.
Okay, so
Oh,
that's a
it's
good age
Mickey.
for it.
All right, Mum.
Yeah, like seriously, it's really embarrassing now.
Yeah.
It's fine. So that
yeah,
was alright.
the queues for me would put me
It's
off.
a bit hideous.
The cost.
I just wasn't planned
It's
enough.
so
That's
I
what
wouldn't
thought.
mind that. I wouldn't mind. I mean, I don't like roller coasters and rides, so for me, queuing 4 hours to go on a 20-minute
Yeah.
ride, that's ridiculous.
I mean, you're talking 2 minutes.
I was going to say
yeah,
20 minutes.
yeah.
Yeah.
The thing that I hate about that is the way they kind of snake the queues.
Yeah.
But then they have like a doorway, and you think, oh, the ride's
We're
just in that
Yeah,
doorway. You get through the doorway, and
next
there's another
queue.
cabin
Yeah.
with a snake of people going up to the ride. At that point.
Although I did meet Elsa, which
you?
was a bit of a dream
The
come
actual
true.
Elsa, real one,
And
in
Anna.
Disneyland. Oh, cool.
And I did that thing which mums do, which
Start singing "Let It Go."
where I did that whole Elsa, she's so exciting, and then I went up to Elsa and went. It was like, shut up, woman, just let me talk to your child. I've been queuing for 2 hours, I'm telling you this.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
So you have to queue to meet the people.
yeah, like 2 hours we queued
Oh.
to meet Elsa and Anna. But I'd do it again. I'd do it again.
Would you?
Yeah.
They charge you to get in,
Yeah.
and then you just stand in a queue for 2 hours. So you can do like 4 of those a day.
Yeah.
4 queues. That's basically what you pay for.
Yeah.
Full ride.
How much does it cost to go to Disney? A lot.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they enjoyed the swimming pool in the house outside of it, so that was
Well, that's
good.
nice.
So, maybe we just do that next time.
Do that in Cornwall, mate.
Yeah,
That'd be
it turns
great.
out I can't
Yeah,
based on
well,
that.
What about you, Jay? Favourite holiday destination?
Favourite
don't
holiday
leave your
that I've
house.
ever had. I don't like leaving my
You're
house.
like the
if I can
co-op.
avoid it.
Go for a nice little trip, get a sandwich, come back.
I did go with my best friend many years ago for an arguing holiday, which is the type of holiday we have, because we basically disagree on almost everything, but quite enjoy those disagreements. We did Egypt and we did Luxor and Cairo and Dahab, and that was a really amazing holiday.
Yeah.
I think that's the best holiday I've ever had.
That's very cool.
Yeah, some hair-raising journeys. Like we took a bus from Cairo to Dahab that was terrifying. Like people were getting taken off the bus at gunpoint, and like at
Did you pay extra for
checkpoints.
this experience?
Yeah, we did.
Was it one of those special trips?
Yeah.
You'd
No,
queue
we
4
did.
hours at
Yeah, it was. It was quite something. And then on the way back, we thought we won't get the bus this time. We'll take like this private minibus, and we'll hire that. And sort of, there were 12 of us in this minibus, and it was an overnight sort of back from Cairo. I think we were going to Luxor or something. I can't remember that. It was a big long trip, and we got on this minibus, and the guy got out into the desert, put his foot down, was going about 100, 110 mile an hour, and then turned off his main lights and went to side lights, which is what they do in the desert, apparently, and that's how they do it. And I was sat there saying to my friend, so if an animal, he went, oh, we're dead. We're definitely dead. If there's anything in the road, we're dead. And this poor American girl that we'd met like an hour earlier and me just spent the entire journey holding hands like a white knuckle ride. I assume she, like me, was like, well, if I'm going to die, I'd like to be in contact with another human when I do. But it was still an amazing holiday. But don't do the minibus. Or do it in the day when you can see. Really frightening. But great place to have a holiday.
Andy?
Go on, Dad.
Oh yeah, sorry,
Andy.
you're still here.
Ninja.
I play in now. One of the best ones I've done was Lapland. I did a husky ride, like I did
cold?
snowmobiles. I saw Aurora Borealis.
Pulled by dogs.
Pulled by dogs.
Right, it's really good. I'm a big fan of cold holidays. Done Iceland and things.
Did you do it entirely in shorts the whole time?
No, but I didn't wear as many layers as everyone else.
Andy doesn't feel the cold.
Crazy.
Got a great internal thermostat. What about you, Al, while you play these exciting incidents?
Probably Mexico, I think.
Ooh,
Mexico was
good choice.
Gorgeous. Like a really amazing place. And like the history is that it's so different to Europe, you know. It's that I would very much recommend.
That difference from Europe, that's what it was like. Like certainly in Dahab when I went there, this is about 20 years ago, so it wasn't all hotels. It was like, you know, you got your food from a tent with some cushions out on the beach, and there was like one bed and breakfast that had just been built, and the whole thing was the proper cultural shock of a totally different approach. Some love coming for your daughter here. For singing Julia is the best.
Yes.
That song was honestly in my head for so long. We were just in the
Sorry,
office.
in the game, there's a song.
Which game?
In the one you're in.
Sorry, there's a game.
Yeah, we should tell you now, it wasn't just a film.
It's still 70%.
I don't know if it's
Oh,
right now.
That's ludicrous.
Get on it now.
Why are you listening to us?
And there's songs in it. It's not just a game, it's a musical extravaganza.
It certainly
right?
is.
It really is.
She's in it.
Got nominated for a BAFTA.
It did.
Yeah.
Didn't win it, but it got nominated for a BAFTA.
Did it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know, right? That's pretty cool. But not a real BAFTA, like games
Yeah,
BAFTA.
not a proper one.
Wasn't on telly.
They still had to
You'd
wear
still have
outfits.
put it on your mantelpiece.
Oh, mate, if we'd have got
Be
it,
honest.
it would be on this table right now.
We were so shameful that even when we didn't win, we went up to the winners and went, can I hold your back?
We wanted to
Just
feel
so we
what they
could
felt
hold
like.
Oh, wow.
They're really heavy, like you'd expect.
Good quality stuff.
Yeah, not sure my DIY could take the weight of a BAFTA on top of it.
Oh, that's fine. Well, what you need is Rog to come and sort out all the shelves.
Yeah.
We should definitely say a happy birthday to
Roman.
Roman. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Roman. Well done for making it through another year.
Yeah, congratulations.
Always a win.
Your daughter has an angelic voice, apparently, Claire.
Did you auto-tune her?
No, no. What was weird was, from what I remember, I gave you
A really bad song.
a tune, and then you recorded your daughter making random noises and sent it back to me and went, that's how it goes now. She's rewritten it. And then I had to put the piano on afterwards.
Yeah.
But actually, her pitch was spot on.
Oh,
you know, in terms of like not what she stayed in relative pitch with herself
Better
throughout.
than me.
Sorry?
Is she better than me?
Hard to say on
Yeah.
the air,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Really?
Ask
she's
the question if
infinitely
you don't want
better.
to know the answer.
No, I'm fully aware of that. It's fine. She's got that innocence about her.
Yeah.
No, because Jay said we need a small child to sing this song, and you'd written something like an old man would have written a 6-year-old girl's song, which was far too complicated.
Them's fighting words.
Yeah,
it's fine.
but I can't win that fight. I'm too old.
By the time he gets here, I'll be out.
Yeah.
Right.
Barely got to my feet. She's in like Bristol.
And I said to my daughter, "Do you want to do this?" And she's like, "Oh, I don't know. Yes, I do. I don't know." And then she went to school. She really panicked about it. And she came back, she said, I will do it, but can I do my own words? And I phoned Jay going, she doesn't like your stuff. Can you do it? So we hid under a duvet.
Woman of excellent.
And
From Jay?
No. Let's just clear this fucking thing up while I've still got a job for good sound isolation without echo.
We hid under a duvet, and I basically just put the phone and went, go on, sing a song. It has to say Julia's the best. And that's what he came up with. And I was like, this is what you got, Jay. This is what, and then you did some magic with it.
It was though, as Al was saying earlier, the one song that was sung in the office over and over and over again. It just stuck in our heads. We could not get rid of it.
Got a catchy hook.
Really I think it's because it's an important message as well. That's what I think's really important about it.
Another important message is what we're about to go to here in the break.
Oh my God! Just so good.
It was until you
I'm always so shocked by how brilliant it is you are. I feel
we're about to go to a break. You're about to see the trailers for the Mace game and bits of your life, starring our very own Roger Alborough, who did an immense performance. You're not seeing much of it tonight because we don't want to spoil anything. For those of you, it is available now. Go out and buy it. But as a little teaser, here's the trailer. Here it is.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight. But first, the votes are in and it's a decisive win for Advance.
What do you make of this historic election result?
So perhaps we should all be celebrating. Except for the rich.
I mean, a lawyer and a TV personality running the country. Seriously?
We've had worse.
What does the future look like to you?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission. Let's have a go with this old democracy thing.
Okay.
And here we bally well are.
Good stuff.
Brilliant!
So,
a mysterious symbol has appeared overnight. Could this be the daring first move of a silent resistance movement?
Yeah, a government. Good bond. Peter Clement. There are some pissants who just don't know how to be.
And an attempt was made to censor some of your looks.
What? Are you joking?
we're only getting started.
No disrupt. No resistance. Oh, Alex, you're going to get me in trouble with that.
Your channel is a f***ing disgrace.
I'm sorry, it's very hot. But before we all hand off our freedoms, should we ask them who we're handing them over?
Please, we can't show it. Cut to the ads.
Give us a hug.
If you fire a single shot, initial estimates for the death toll into the millions.
Mr. Blundercatch, I understand you're upset, but we can...
Jesus!
Good job, everybody!
Well, if that doesn't distract you from the world outside, I don't know what will.
That's all coming up on tonight's
National Nightly News.
Good evening. My name is Peter Clement. You might remember me from television programs like Just the Job and Petey. In those shows, I got to know you, the public.
We want our money. Yes, very good. Take them away.
And I came to the conclusion that you deserve more than you are getting.
Here, buy yourself something nice. Buy yourself something twice as nice. Buy yourself something thrice as nice. Get yourself down and take some money.
And that's why I'm running as Prime Minister with my co-leader, Julia Salisbury.
Are we friends?
I bloody hope so, or I've made a dreadful mistake.
With us in charge, things will be fairer. Things will be calmer.
There is not gonna be a thing, Eric.
I look around the world and like you, I see the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer.
That, Peter Clement, is the reason you wake up in morning in cell facing firing squad, yes?
But if you lend me your vote in 7 weeks' time, maybe
These two will up your life.
we can make the world sane again. And as my old mam used to say,
Well, if you got a pretty chuff, you should wave it in the fellas' faces, as they say down the pit.
thank you very much for your time.
Welcome back, everybody.
Hello, everyone. We're back.
We were just discussing a moment in that trailer where Roger wasn't particularly well on
Yeah,
the day of shooting.
it was like the last day of shooting, pretty much, and it was definitely near the end because we destroyed one set.
Yeah, that's right.
To make those.
Yeah.
You'll have seen a clip of it in the trailer there. It's like some political debates. I don't want to say much more about what's in there because we don't want to spoiler it for you.
Absolute trooper to get through.
Yeah, and this was after.
We'd had weeks working for weeks. Weren't we?
Yeah.
And I swear, nearly everybody in the room, I think, came down with COVID at the same time.
Yeah.
It was the first day.
Reeling.
We were really cautious COVID protocols on film set and stuff.
Yeah, totally.
We managed to survive the whole shoot, and then we just felt one day where everyone was low energy, and like we were trying to film these debates, as Jay was saying. It wasn't a tricky day crew wise. It was fairly light for us, but for Rog, it was a very heavy day in terms of dialogue, I would say. And it was the one day that we everything lent on that on your performance. Everyone else was just supporting it, and because I remember we had a discussion outside, didn't we? Going, can we get the theatre for another day?
Yeah,
we can't force
him
to. But managed to pull through, and it was.
As you'll see, you won't notice it when you watch it at the end. It came out really good, really good.
I'd be proud to see it.
But like in bits of your life, I would say yourself, Rog, and an actor called Louis who plays Eamon in it had a lot of the heavy lifting because basically the way bits of your life works is Roger's on set and different guests are brought in to interact with him, and Eamon is the host with Peter Clement. So Claire had to play one sequence a day in the main, and all the other guests had to play one sequence a day. But Louis was in every scene, and Peter.
Yeah, Louis is phenomenal.
Amazing actor.
Wonderful.
Absolutely incredible. I think you're all going to really love Louis. And funny man in real life. He unionised the makeup artist. And I arrived on morning and he was like, don't speak to them. You can only speak to them through me. And he knew I hated mornings. So he always came for me in the mornings. And Delou was always like great in the morning. Delou plays the floor manager in it, Eric. Another lovely chap. Also in pretty much every scene, but only at the beginning and end. So if you're watching this, Delou, lazy.
You had it easy, love.
Way too easy.
But if you want to watch that performance, you can go and buy the DLC
right now.
It's on Steam.
It's been out for nearly an hour.
49 minutes it's been out.
And I presume it's on at regular prices, isn't it?
No, but you would think that, Andrew, but you would
I
be
would
wrong.
just out.
What? Is it possibly
No.
at a reduced price?
It's at a reduced price. Have a guess.
I
Rog.
hope we haven't taken too
Just
much
have
off.
Wait a minute. Bear with me. Bear with me. Is it 70%?
Oh my god!
Cheaper.
Bang on! Bang on!
You can tell I'm a professional.
It is
That's practically
70%.
free.
I mean,
that is near enough free.
you can tell we didn't choose the price.
Yeah, I did absolutely just approve of this.
Yeah, it's currently.
To be fair, the
70%.
base game is 70% off. I don't believe the brand new DLC
I have
that
no
launched
idea what
today
it
is.
I mean, that doesn't need a discount. That is worth
it's
every
already
penny.
cheap.
I mean, the other game not so much, but the DLC.
The bit that you're in least. Yeah, cool. Okay. Now, if you work out pennies per minute, it's a brilliant value, I would say.
There you go. Yeah.
That's
It's
how
the
I
world
judge my
record amount of
games.
footage.
Yeah.
Therefore, if you work out pennies per minute,
And-
there is no better game on the market.
And once you add the DLCs, all 3 DLCs, I reckon, what do you think, Andy? Do you reckon that will double the length?
Will Guinness
of
allow us to
footage?
do that?
If anyone comes for us. They
You know
won't.
what? Across all 3 DLCs, it might well do.
Might well equal a whole
Not
another game.
far off.
worth. Yeah, so that's value. Bit of cash. Still downloading on mine because it's enormous, DJ.
Yeah,
That's
it's
why.
big. I think that's the reason why the stream is a bit stuttery, because you lot are just taking bandwidth trying to download the game.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to assume 100,000 downloads.
Yeah.
A lot of people saying that we should all be taking a day off to celebrate our achievements, but we're not doing that. are we? That's called Saturday.
Currently, right now, sitting just out of shot. We're not going to put the shot up because it doesn't like being on camera. But half of our coding department is still working, making bug fixes because the game has just come out. And I don't think, George, just give me a thumbs up if it's going well. Oh, it's going well. Okay. But yeah, they're still working tirelessly while we're sitting here chatting and drinking tea.
Yeah.
So,
This is work. This is work. This is our job.
And actually, I heard that Live and Spooky is pretty good too, and maybe worth buying. Hang on, what was that, George? Maybe worth buying the season pass.
Yeah,
so,
well, definitely worth buying.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
I mean,
Not as
Live
good
and
as
Spooky
this.
would have been good, except Patrick Bannon.
Oh, he again.
It just goes on and on and on.
But do you know what? As long as you cut his bits out, I
Yeah.
think it
Still
makes
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
in
think
fact, it's better.
I think it's much
better.
cleverer that way.
We're going to be releasing an edited version of Live and Spooky, Bannon proof.
The whole purpose of the game is you're in control of the editing, so just edit him out.
Denser.
You can get, I believe, you can get Patrick Bannon in some pretty deep shit in Live and Spooky. So take out your energy. But I mean, if you want to play all three of them, and I would recommend it because Live and Spooky is really interesting and really different in feel and form from the main game, as well as being still very, very funny. Bits of Your Life is like a character piece. And next year, obviously, we're going to be releasing the Time Loop, which is a whole nother thing that we're not going to say very much about. But buy the season pack, I think it's pretty much 3 for the price of 2.
It is, yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah, season pass on Steam. And if you prefer a controller and you're part of our console team, then by all means go and buy it on there. But you can get the deluxe edition, which comes with the base game and all 3.
You can also get the base game now on Oculus. And on and on certain other VR platforms we support. Andy, which ones do we support?
So obviously, for those who use VR on Steam, there are mixed headsets. So we have some support, but we are aware that there are some issues with different headsets. So feel free, obviously, do try it out. And if it doesn't work for you, we are looking into it. But now we can't say that we support all.
There is a definitive list of what we do support on the store page for the VR. So please check before you buy if your headset is supported, because it'd be a shame to buy it and then have to refund it, because it didn't work.
What we have done for the game, this doesn't work for VR, by the way, but for the main game, if you're sitting here and you're going, I don't trust these guys, I've only just seen them on a stream, they look a bit dodgy. We've even set up a prologue for you to download that's completely free for you to try it before you've even bought it. So go and try the prologue, and if you like it and you go, yeah, this is quite good fun, at that point, and then go and buy the game. And I think it goes up to the point that you two appear.
It's the full first level.
Yeah, the first level. Yeah. So they get to see you regardless, even for free.
Wow.
You get a free
and that's a
performance.
they're lucky.
Yeah.
I don't think that was in their contract.
I don't
think it was.
Contract? Did you get a contract?
I'm here for the biscuits.
It's that drawing thing in
I must shout out Al went and did the shopping for the stream, and he's done a brilliant job, I would say.
It's a proper delight, actually.
Yeah.
What are those things in that bowl?
That's Rocky Road.
White chocolate Rocky Road.
I think you should take that and put that between you and Raj. So you
Do
can
you actually like this?
I don't know.
Take that and put that between you.
Do you want, Andy?
Why did you not have a massive sugar allergy, in which case you're in a lot of trouble?
To nuts.
My God, that is sweet.
That's so
That's cool.
Those of you that are just joining us, welcome. We are some of the developers, and eventually you will see all of us, developers and 2 of the lead actors from our game, Not For Broadcast, which is currently playing or should be playing, but Andy's sitting there having a break.
I wanted to talk.
He's breaking the genre.
what it looks like on pause down there. In the corner.
It's a lovely pause.
Yeah. So what you can see playing is our game, Not For Broadcast. We are doing this stream to celebrate the launch of Bits of Your Life, which you can see on the front there, which stars our very own Roger. And Claire does appear in there and has a little cameo, I would say.
Yeah, Claire's also in.
He's used up all his good segues already.
I'm running low. Claire is there.
He hasn't said anything that isn't technically true.
Yeah, hasn't been pulled by dogs. So we're here celebrating the launch of Bits of Your Life, which is the second of 3 DLCs. It is available now. You can go and buy it. And if you want to buy all 3, you can go and buy the season pack if you're on Steam, or the deluxe edition console. Please go and buy it and support it. To give you a little teaser of what it's actually like, we're going to jump to some trailers right now. Here's what it is.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight. But first, the votes are in and it's a decisive win for Advance.
What do you make of this historic election result?
So perhaps we should all be celebrating.
Except for the rich.
I mean, a lawyer and a TV personality running the country. Seriously?
We've had worse.
What does the future look like to you?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission. Let's have a go with this whole democracy thing.
Okay.
And here we valley well are.
Good stuff.
Brilliant!
So,
A mysterious symbol has appeared overnight. Could this be the daring first move of a silent resistance movement?
Yeah, a government. A bond. Peter Clement. There are some pissants who just don't know how to be.
And an attempt was made to censor some of your notes.
What? Are you joking?
We're only getting started.
Not disrupt. No resistance. Oh, Alex, you're going to get me in trouble with that.
Your channel is a f***ing disgrace.
I'm sorry, it's very hot. But before we all hand off our fingers, should we ask them who we're handing them over?
please, we can't show it. Cut to the ads.
Give us a hug.
If you fire a single shot, initial estimates put the death toll into the millions. Mr. Blundercatch, I understand you're upset, but we can...
Jesus!
Good job, everybody!
Meal of an Eastern...
Well, if that doesn't distract you from the world outside, I don't know what will.
That's all coming up on tonight's
National Nightly News.
Going in 5, 4, 3...
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Dawson.
And I'm Megan Wolfe. Our main stories tonight. What do you make of this historic election result?
Today is day one of a new future. A better, fairer future.
They want us quiet. They want us compliant. And they want us inside.
A mysterious symbol has appeared overnight on thousands of buildings throughout the capital.
Advance aided by the mass media are lying to you.
You have my word. We will never censor ideas.
I've never heard so much in my life.
A government. Good bond. Peter Clement.
The people of our territory will no longer tolerate.
We demand respect!
Genocide is not
Cut to the ads!
You are to remove it immediately.
Good evening. My name is Peter Clement. You might remember me from television programs like Just the Job and Petey. In those shows, I got to know you, the public.
We want our money! Yes, very good. Take them away.
And I came to the conclusion that you deserve more than you are getting.
Here, buy yourself something nice. Buy yourself something twice as nice. Buy yourself something thrice as nice. Get yourself down and take some money.
And that's why I'm running as Prime Minister with my co-leader, Julia Salisbury.
Are we friends?
I bloody hope so, or I've made a dreadful mistake.
With us in charge, things will be fairer. Things will be calmer.
There is not gonna be a dog, Eric!
I look around the world and like you, I see the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer.
That, Peter Clement, is the reason you wake up in morning in cell facing firing squad, yes?
But if you lend me your vote in 7 weeks' time, maybe
These two will up your life.
we can make the world sane again. And as my old mam used to say,
Well, if you got a pretty chuff, you should wave it in the fellas' faces, as they say down the pit.
thank you very much for your time.
Welcome back.
Yes.
Yes, hello.
Den's over there now, so it's all a little less.
It's going to be a bit more quiet and awkward now.
Yeah,
because
we're
I
going-
desperately try and live up to that level of professionalism. There'll be no good segues.
No.
Sit in silence, mainly.
I think we should. We should sit in silence and contemplate our mistakes.
Their actions so
wild.
far.
Could I suggest an alternate?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Yeah, so if we just
Okay.
Honestly,
Yeah,
if
that's
you
good.
just thought
I mean, it's
and
not as
maybe
fun.
we would remind people who don't know why we're here.
Well, we are here because it is the launch of Bits of Your Life, the second DLC for Not for Broadcast, and it is, as Roger will no doubt tell you, at an incredible price of 70% off.
70% off, not 70%. 70% off. That's a bargain in anybody's language.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And so the response seems really positive. Like the chats seem to be really enjoying it. Has anyone played it yet? Let us know. Is anyone playing and watching at the same time?
Oh, that'd be exciting, wouldn't it?
Confusing, I'd
Yeah.
imagine. If you do have any questions for Roger and Claire, please put them in the chat. We have one here from DJ. What is your favourite mug from the game? I presume you mean these.
Thank you so much.
That's so quick.
We're all weak.
Yeah.
I'll go and get a display of the mugs.
Yes.
And then they can
Meanwhile,
make some decisions.
How was filming the eulogy footage? That was when we came down to Brighton, wasn't it? The eulogy footage.
when Roger came up and...
We did both, didn't we? Yeah, we did a
shoots.
load all the way around here,
Yeah.
and all sort of around the estate, and then we also did
Yeah, there was
some
two
down the
shoots.
seafront.
One in Brighton, one here.
I wasn't at the Brighton side.
Where you were shouting at things and then being happy about things and then shouting at things.
Do you remember the newscaster that came in for the day that had no idea what was going on, and you had to like slap the mic out of her hand? And she
don't.
Well,
I mean, it's 4 years. My memory only goes back about a week.
Yeah.
What from me?
You're living up to the advert, Rod.
Yeah, that's true. No acting required there, love.
If you at home have any scenes that Roger won't remember, put them in the chat. Let's play the game of Does Roger Remember It?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Recently.
Yeah.
And it was about our game, but we got 73%.
Yeah.
You only
We wrote it and made it.
Brilliant.
It was like quotes from it. Who said this? And we were both playing, and we wrote between us every one of those lines. And we were like, I have no idea who said that. And then someone would help us on the chat, and we'd be like, what character is that? What name is that?
What was odd is that we could tell which one of us had written the words. Like, that's
Yeah.
a J joke, but I
Yeah.
have no recollection of
Yeah.
it being in there.
Yeah, that's bordering on inappropriate. That's Jay.
What is my favourite alcohol? Whatever's in my hand at the time.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's your favourite tea?
Oh, that's a good
What's your favourite
question.
tea?
That's a far more important question.
Long Island. Ice.
Nice.
Oh.
Very good.
What about you, Claire? What's your favourite tea? Beat Long Island iced.
I mean,
PG?
I'm torn because I have a bias towards PG tips.
Yeah.
However, I do like a Yorkshire tea.
Wow.
Do you like a Yorkshire?
decaf.
Do you like Yorkshire? But PG tips all the way.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a bit...
I actually do like PG tips.
I love PG tips. But I've been drinking Cornish Smuggler's Brew.
Oh,
Really nice.
nice.
Having to buy it on Amazon.
I'm getting very into herbal.
Are you?
But like,
Water with colour in it.
Yeah.
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 Fruity water.
Like,
It's
like a leaf. Save the kettle.
Yeah. Maybe a nettle.
Yeah.
A little nettle
We've
tea.
had nettle tea.
Nettle tea's quite
I've always
nice.
been really nervous about actually just stinging myself.
I don't, I don't think it brings you out in hives.
But don't you just get nettle and put it in? What, is that not how you do it?
I think it's like the
Yeah, but I
juice
don't believe-
rather
but
than
The
like...
juice of the nettle.
I guess that's the word, isn't it? What else was it? What do you want to call it? The organs of the nettle? Blood? What do you prefer?
The blood of the nettle. Bring me water with the blood of the nettle.
I feel like none of us have any understanding of the mechanisms by which the nettle works.
I'm gonna have to Google that. Like, yeah.
There's a lovely question from Flux. What were your favourite moments from filming Bits of Your Life?
Without saying anything
Without
about
actively spoiling the plot.
I think that's almost impossible to answer because there's just so much that was so much fun. I mean, I've said it to these guys till I've bored them to death, but I've never laughed so much as I have in 4 years that I've been working on this. It's all so funny. But then, as we were talking about earlier on, it would suddenly twist into something really sincere, meaningful. But yeah, I can't say which is my favourite bit because I'm not allowed to anyway. But also, no, I've just enjoyed it. Great fun. Love it.
It really felt, I don't know how you felt, that on Bits of Your Life, we just kind of had a charmed set. You know, sometimes you just get like the right group of people.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of just gets on board to do this impossible thing. I mean, it was such a crazy overreach, Bits of Your Life, in terms of how much a day we were trying to shoot and how much that, like you say, one day we're shooting a broad slapstick comedy where someone's having a breakdown, then the next day we're shooting a serious sequence about something or other.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like you, I laughed so much on that shoot. God, there were times when, like, there have been occasionally times on the other shoots where I've had to be thrown off set. Usually when the guy playing Big Chris comes in, he just cracks me up so bad. I always have to leave the set. But there were really bad moments. I had to tell the makeup artists off several times in Bits of Your Life, like, will you just not laugh so loud during it? But at the same time, that was brilliant because they are up in the gallery with myself and Dan and the other sort of tech team, and they've not seen it before. So it's by listening to them laugh that I can kind of tell whether you guys are,
we're hitting it.
Yeah, whether you're hitting it.
Good or
I
not.
know, because I know the joke. So
Yeah.
it's not going to make me laugh. But if I can see they're laughing, it's like, okay, we're there. We've got it nailed.
But Louis made it so easy to if we did, to hit those moments. I mean, he was just fantastic. He's so clever, so gifted.
Yeah.
He was so good to me.
I mean, so many people said to me during that watching you and Louis go at each other was just like a masterclass in how to do it. It was so relaxing to watch and so pleasant, and genuinely not knowing what either of you were going to do. Like in a certain scene. It's not scripted, obviously, yeah.
Most of the time I didn't know.
No, there is something, like, one of the things I've definitely learnt making these is because when you've done a lot of theatre and mainly amateur theatre and you've worked on really low budget things and a lot of drama teaching, you're quite used to having to give quite a lot of notes to actors, and then you start casting professional actors and you get used to their voice because they're a returning character, so you kind of know when you're writing it almost how they're going to play it. And you give so few notes that at the end of some days I'd go home and go, have I even worked today? Like, have I added anything? Because the choices, when you get the right actors, like with Louis and like with you guys, the choices you're already making are so good. And so there was one day I remember, and it was you two and Louis.
Oh, we
Eric.
broke him.
Yeah, we broke Louis, and it was your fault, I believe, that gave him the giggles.
Oh,
it was the one scene we had to reshoot.
Get through it.
Couldn't get to
I mean,
the
he'd
end.
go for like 2.5 minutes, and then he just split up. He's lost. You can do it now.
And he'd just go like, wonderful. No, he was gone. Yeah, that was the one scene I think we retook, was the one where you just cracked Louis so badly. And we've been shooting for days at this point. God knows how ill everyone is. We're just in this theatre, repeating, someone comes through a doorway, 1 minute chat, off they go, right? So you're just stuck in this mad repeating pattern. It was, yeah.
Did you have a favourite moment from Bits of Your Life that you're allowed to share?
Do you know
She
what?
was only in it for 2 minutes.
No, this worked out really well for me, right? Because I got to just have days drinking tea, then swan on for a bit, and then swan off again. It was great. No, I'm a pivotal character. I really am, honestly. No, do you know what I did like though? Is they know when it's set, yeah. So
Yeah.
So it's set
7 weeks before the start of the main game.
So actually, what was really quite cool was that, like, having gone through the main game, seeing where the character arc goes and where it gets to then go right back to almost like an origin story.
Yeah.
That's Tom's favourite bit.
And then
With
Claire
this
becomes
spider,
Yeah, that bit where you get your power cost us a lot of money.
But no, that was quite fun in terms of just in my own head, because of course most of the cast had never played it, didn't know what happened,
Yeah.
right? And in my own head, knowing where it gets to, I quite enjoyed playing it to that a little bit. That was fun.
think that's really, I really think that's true. Like, because by the time we see you towards the end of the game, you're very media savvy. People will have their own impressions of whether you're a good character or a villain, depending on how they've played. But yeah, to see her nervous and untrained, and like Peter be the sort of experienced TV guy.
Yeah.
You were like my dad as well. I felt like you were my dad. I'd walk on, I'm like, please help me. And you'd be like, come on, it's fine, right? It was good.
Okay, what was it like for you writing back in time? Was it odd to these characters that you know so well to have to sort of figure out how they got here?
What was really interesting was because obviously you and I between us had built the stories of these characters, and there were a lot of things we couldn't contradict. Like it was quite late in writing Bits of Your Life when I suddenly went, Peter Clement's got like a nephew that we mention in a headline. I can't have him be like, for when you're planning it, I had all sorts of sort of, you know, post-its out and working out. And in the final draft we use for writing allows you to do what are called beat boards. And there's a beat board of all of the key events in Peter Clement's life and the dates that they happened, which we'd always left fairly vague. Like we knew that Peter played golf with Bruce's character, Ivan Vodovich, but we didn't really know any more about it. But it was obvious that they were friends, even though it feels unlikely. And some of the reasons for that were
the backstory that you wrote around that was. I mean, I don't know how you get your with those different journeys and options through each of the journeys.
That's what's really lovely about writing for games, is to be able to say to you 2 years ago, now we do kill you in this episode, but there is quite a lot more work actually coming down the line. Being able to jump in time like that is great. Also,
spoilers, by the way, there if you haven't.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, sorry.
Or do
we?
Depends on what you do.
Yeah, it depends on that's the great thing about this game though, right? Is that there is not one linear truth. Like all of
there
are
moments.
There are moments, but there are so many different variations depending on the choices you make.
Yeah.
Some are bigger than others, right? But it does. I think it's really clever the way you've done it. That because you talked about the illusion of see, I watched your stuff. The illusion of choice, right?
Let's get that tattooed on me.
I know you should. It's good. But it does make a difference, right? Because it just feels like a very different gameplay every time you do it. And I know I'm massively biased, but the first couple of times I play it, genuinely it's given me goosebumps. Like when some of the turns have come and I'm like, oh, okay, that came from nowhere and I didn't know what was going on. So I think you've done a really, I hate to say it, but well done.
Well, no, I mean, I hate to say this too, but we've been insanely lucky with actors of your caliber, because it's finding, except for you, but, it's been finding people who are both able to play both sides of that string, like obviously Jeremy and Megan in the main game, and Andrea is so funny. And then if you ask her to do something straight, it's just
a turn.
Absolutely, yeah. She can turn on a dime, and you guys have to do that regularly during the game. I mean, you have to go in one scene talking seriously about euthanasia, is quite early in the main game, to also being electrocuted by faulty wiring and saying some of the most awful swearing. But we're also trying to set up points for later on, and I really think it's been a really challenging sort of thing to attempt, but it has been
great journey.
Fun.
Fabulous journey.
I love how you play. You do it so well, and you've never laughed until, and I obviously can't say, but in Time Loop, there was some that was so awful. It did rescue, and I was like, not seen you laugh at these before. Like,
but it's so kind of physiological invention that kind of gets me. It's like, how could you construct?
Yeah, we were running very low body parts because Bits of Your Life, although it's the second one to be released, was actually the last one to be written and shot. They were shot out of sequence. And one of the characters in Bits of Your Life, I don't think it's a spoiler really to say, is your mother, who you talk about throughout the main game.
Wonderful.
And then we finally cast her, and we cast the nicest lady, and we made her say just the most awful.
She is like Peter Clement on speed. She is wonderful.
Man, this woman can swear. Oh my God, she's so good. If you want to see class swearing, watch Roger and his mother, and to be fair, the character of your father, who I believe at one point sleep swears.
Yes.
Quite good, man.
Yes.
Yeah, there's some good swearing. Not for children. If you're under whatever age you consider to be a child, don't buy the game.
For legal purposes, 18.
For legal purposes.
But for everybody else, do buy the game. It's at a reduced price of 7% off right now. The deluxe edition, grab that. It has all the DLC. The first one, Live and Spooky, that was out. Boyle, which is releasing right now, and Time Loop, which will be coming down in the future. So grab it right now. We're going to a little break. Here's the trailers for the games. Enjoy.
Fabulous.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight. But first, the votes are in and it's a decisive win for Advance.
What do you make of this historic election result?
So perhaps we should all celebrate. Except for the rich.
I mean, a lawyer and a TV personality running the country. Seriously?
We've had worse.
What does the future look like to you?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission. Let's have a go with this whole democracy thing.
Okay.
And here we bally well are.
Good stuff.
Brilliant!
So,
A mysterious symbol has appeared overnight. Could this be the daring first move of a silent resistance movement?
Yeah, a government. A bond. Peter Clement. There are some pissants who just don't know how to be.
And an attempt was made to censor some economics.
What? Are you joking?
We're only getting started.
No disrupt. No resistance. Oh, Alex, you're going to get me in trouble with that.
Your channel is a f***ing disgrace.
I'm sorry, it's very hot. But before we all hand off our freedoms, should we ask them who we're handing them over?
please, we can't show you. Cut to the ads.
Give us a hug.
If you fire a single shot, initial estimates put the death toll into the millions.
Mr. Blundercatch, I understand you're upset, but we can...
Jesus!
Good job, everybody!
Well, if that doesn't distract you from the world outside, I don't know what will.
That's all coming up on tonight's
National Nightly
News.
Good evening. My name is Peter Clement. You might remember me from television programs like Just the Job and Petey. In those shows, I got to know you, the public.
We want our money. Yes, very good. Take them away.
And I came to the conclusion that you deserve more than you are getting.
Here, buy yourself something nice. Buy yourself something twice as nice. Buy yourself something thrice as nice. Get yourself down and take some money.
And that's why I'm running as Prime Minister with my co-leader, Julia Salisbury.
Are we friends?
I bloody hope so, or I've made a dreadful mistake.
With us in charge, things will be fairer. Things will be calmer.
There is not gonna be a thing, Eric!
I look around the world and like you, I see the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer.
That, Peter Clement, is the reason you wake up in morning in cell facing firing squad, yes?
But if you lend me your vote in 7 weeks' time, maybe
These two will up your life.
we can make the world sane again. And as my old man used to say,
Well, if you got a pretty chuff, you should wave it in the fellas' faces, as they say down the pit.
thank you very much for your time.
Hello! Welcome back to the penultimate section of our little stream to celebrate the release of Bits of Your Life. The reason I'm pointing over here, by the way, is because we have it. It's the only bit of branding of Bits of Your Life we have, so I'm pointing this way. But it does happen to star our very own Roger Alborough, who is joining us on the sofa, and Claire makes a cameo.
Not fair. Not fair.
No, Claire. Claire obviously has a huge part to play. She plays the co-prime minister
Although technically not in this
Not
one.
actually.
Not in
There's a
this one
prequel.
'cause it's prequel.
Yeah.
So technically you're
Actually,
a
she plays a
nobody.
nobody.
So you're less important.
An actual
Yeah,
nobody.
you're a wannabe if anything, mate.
Story of my life.
But yeah, so the game Bits of Your Life that we have just released today, about an hour and 20 minutes ago to be precise, if you're here in the UK. It is out now. It is the second of 3 DLCs that are available. The third coming next year at some point. We don't know quite when, but we will be announcing that later on in the year, once we've had a bit of a sleep after this one.
Yeah, once we've recovered.
Yeah. But there is currently 2 DLCs out there, and the base game that is being played right now in the bottom corner by one of the developers of the game, Alex
He's
himself.
not sick of it yet.
He's
That's
not. So yeah, Alex is playing the game. So everyone who doesn't know what this game's about can see what the game is, and then go there and go, that's a really good game. That's a clever idea. Let's go and buy that game and support these 4 hungry devs with a whole team they now have to support. Who is still working? George is back here. He's still on whispering to Steve, our other development team, whispering over Discord with fixes and stuff. So yeah, and we're joined by these 2 lovely people to answer all of your questions. So if you have questions, stick them in the chat. We will relay them.
I have a question.
Go on.
Yes.
What was your first impression? I mean, Claire, you're a bit different because you knew, or Jay especially, for a long time. But Roger, what was your impression when you first turned up to set of what the hell was going on?
Well, my first impression when I read the script was they've got this wrong. he just can't make up his mind what the scene should be.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got that, Jay. Because obviously there's like 5, 6, 7 different options from a certain trigger point, and I thought he'd got it wrong. What's going on? It is like walking into the Mad Hatter's tea party. It's insane. They work insanely hard, but it's just surreal. It's really odd.
It's so different to
huge fun
film sets, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
because that's what always throws people, I think, because we're shooting FMV content, so full motion video content, and then putting it into a video game. The most actors are coming on set going, yeah, I've been on sets before, but they're nothing like the sets that we produce because we have to have the content fit to a game. So we don't use the standard formula of
we don't have any
shoot
money.
days.
That's
the other thing.
There is that.
Is the budgets are so small. But yeah, we don't. That's, I think, the biggest shock, I would say, for most actors, or the one that we get fed back the most, which is very different. But sometimes can be a lovely change to a film set because if you nail it, it's a single take. You're done in minutes, you know.
Yeah.
And
I mean, and
really
not so
work
much
that
on this last one, but on the first one we did, I think we had to do continuous takes, and it was literally one take. And if you screwed it, you went back to the beginning.
Yeah.
There's no editing not on the first one, particularly. And that, for an actor, that's kind of like, whoa, man, that's a lot of pressure.
Especially some of those scenes that you guys had as well, where, you know, some 12, 13-minute long scenes.
They were long
and you can tell when you get to the point of about 8 or 9 minutes, especially sitting in the galley, like watching everything, is you're watching the screens, you're going, yeah, okay, you can see everyone's bumhole tightening a little bit. As you get to minute 8 and they're all like, okay, let's not fuck this up. We're almost there.
Fuck this up now.
But what that really gave, I think, is it gave that live feel, which is what everyone keeps saying about it, feeling unscripted.
Yeah.
It felt like, because if you stumbled a line, as sort of Jay and ours, the directors used to sort of give the note beforehand, which is if you stumble a line, roll with it, like pretend that it's a natural slip and carry on, because that's what would happen in a live situation.
Well, people don't just talk without screwing up language in real life, do they? I mean,
exactly.
Hesitate and repeat, and do that.
Which on a standard film set is right. Turn around, let's go again. Let's pick up from that line. Da 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 da. But yeah, as you say, single continuous take is a. Whereas Jay mentioned earlier, it almost feels like a small play every time you do one, isn't it? Which I suppose works for both of you because you're both theatre backgrounds.
Yeah.
And obviously, to make it a lot easier, we used to put like big dance numbers and stuff about midway through the scene, so that everyone would have to get that right and then have the pressure of continuing for another few minutes.
Could also be actually life-threatening.
Yeah.
Process of the scene.
Yeah, and 12 minutes into 15 going, we've only got one of these, so...
no pressure, but this is the one.
You might think that's not true.
If it doesn't go off, you know that we're going again.
You underestimate the budget. But yeah, no, it's amazing watching the because you guys have been with us. We were saying earlier, this first shoot that you guys are in, the PMs at the in the garden,
The acceptance speech.
the acceptance speeches. That was day 3 of filming for us ever. Like our first day was with little Timmy Tadlock in the bedroom. Day 2, I can't remember what day 2 was. It might have been the Somerset Bentleys or
Gregory Judge, was it?
Oh, it's Gregory
Because
Judge.
it was all back in the
That's right.
penthouse,
It was
wasn't
Gregory
it? Yeah.
Judge, and then it was, so you guys were day 3 of the.
So what was that? 2019.
19. It was in May or something.
Yeah, so the third. So you guys have been in it with us from the get-go, you know,
It
and
fucking feels like.
we every now and then we say goodbye to Rod and we say goodbye to Claire at the end of a shoot. We go, right, it's lovely meeting you, mate.
Yeah.
And then a year later we go, okay, we need him back. Oh, Sophie hasn't had a haircut.
No chance.
Yeah. But yeah, so those of you that are just joining us, this is Roger and Claire. They are 2 of the lead actors in our game, Not for Broadcast, which is being played by Al over there. He's one of the 4 developers. Myself and Andy being 2 of the other. How do I say the word? That the other 2 out of 4.
2 out of 4 devs.
2 out of 4. The other one's over there.
Yeah.
There's 4 of us with an immense team behind us. Who are
the team are doing an awful lot more than we are.
Who are currently off screen. We sit here and take all the glory, but they are working tirelessly. So while we're in this little segment, a shout out to Adam and Zara who are working behind the scenes over in the back. You might see them in the wide. They're doing a brilliant job keeping the stream running. And also to George and Steve who are still working at 7:30 in the evening. So thank you very much to everyone in the team as well for your effort to get this bloody content out to you lot. And
What
I hope you're
content's that,
enjoying
Dan?
it. The 70% off content.
Does that means they're only actually paying 30% of the actual cost?
Your maths would be correct.
Wow.
They are paying
And I
30%
don't even
of the
have
cost.
O-level maths.
O-level
art.
O-level.
Yeah.
You could draw it.
Yeah.
Draw
30% of it, yeah.
So yes, the main game is currently on at 70% off. So please go out and buy it and support it. If you've already bought it, please share
Buy it again.
Why not?
I mean, buy it again.
Makes a great gift.
There's so many different endings, so
Yeah.
just keep buying it.
That's something. Play it, buy it for every new ending. That'd be fantastic. But yeah, please share. Share alike. Any post that we put up. Come and follow us on social media. We're at Not Games UK on Twitter. We are at
It's Twitter though, isn't it?
at Not Games UK. I think we have Facebook. For those of you that are slightly older,
Which is also, I think, Not Games
Just
UK.
Google it.
Not
Just
Games
Google
UK.
it.
Yeah, just Google Not Games and it'll pop up.
But also Discord.
Discord.gg/not-for-broadcast. That is an amazing place where most of the chat that I'm seeing pop up are names that have
Are regulars.
are regulars in our Discord. It's an amazing place for the community to go. I know Claire, you jump in there quite regularly.
Oh,
don't
I
you?
love it.
Yeah.
I love it. It's a proper power trip.
Yeah.
I go in as a prime minister and I get people bowing to me and it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Lovely.
Jay always says to me, if you're having a bad day and you want an egos thing, just go in. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
You can tell when I'm having a bad day. I'm like, hello, team members.
Make me feel good.
Tell me I'm wonderful. That would be great.
We are very spoilt with this amazing community that we've built, that we want to just get bigger, which is why we need you guys' help to spread it and share it and do what you can to make it bigger, because then we can also make more of it, and we can call Roger for the 7th time to get him back again.
Change your number, mate.
Yeah.
Do you know, I had a really I spent some time with the people on the Discord channel playing, and TT will have to tell me what it's called. The one with the quote game. What's that called? Not the
quotation game.
No,
the one that they made.
No, in about 3 minutes it'll tell me what it is. The one where you have to.
I think it's the one that TT wanted to add with the one about like dubbing, where they give you
Yeah,
the
the
video.
dubbing.
It's called
What the dub?
the dub.
And they-
It might even be called the dub game.
Yeah, and it was the funniest thing because I don't know how to do it. There were 4 of us. I was so out of my depth. I was supposed to be looking after my children, and they've done a not for broadcast one. And I was like dubbing myself, going, "That's funnier. Like, that's really funny."
So what do you explain the premise for those of us that don't know what this is?
I'm going to do a really bad job of it, but it's the one I saw. So it's footage from Not From Broadcast was the mod that they've done, and it's basically it does a quote and then it sort of stops it, and you have to write down what you would dub over that quote. So for example, there's a quote, and it's Rog being dubbed, and then I say, colourfully put. Right, so you've got to write what he would be saying, and I was really proud of myself because I wrote red, yellow, green, blue, purple. Colourfully put. I was so proud of myself on that one.
You've been sitting on that anecdote all the years. Well, it sounds like we've got something for the Not Games Christmas party.
It was really good fun.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I mainly got abuse from the people on the call, but I really enjoyed it.
That happens. That's part of being online, isn't it? But those of you that are just joining the community, there is a game that has been created by the community called the Quotation Game, which is all different quotes from Not For Broadcast. We played it on our regular monthly stream on Monday, and we got 70%.
73.
73%, sorry.
So if you get 74 or more, you're better than the devs.
Know the
of Not For
game
Broadcast.
better than us.
Yeah.
But that's the sort of community like content that is created. The art and stuff that's on there is incredible. I don't know if you've seen some of Ross. They draw.
No, I haven't. No.
Oh man, they draw some incredible stuff of most of the actors.
Wow.
Paul mainly, he seems to be a favourite. But yeah, there's all sorts, and the artwork is incredible.
It is.
It's really cool. Absolutely incredible.
It's crazy how good it is. Actually,
yeah. Most of our backgrounds, obviously, today we're celebrating bits of your life, but I know Al does, and same as myself, we have various different art just rolling around as our backgrounds.
Wallpaper is just all artwork.
It's it's an incredible place. So yeah, please go there. Discord.gg/notforbroadcast. Join the community. There is a spoilers channel. There's a spoiler free channel. There's English chat. There's Portuguese. There's Russian. There's all sorts to go over there. So it will keep you entertained, and you can talk everything Not For Broadcast. And occasionally the actors pop in there and you can have a little chat with them one-on-one.
I'm in there all the time.
Yeah.
Jenny turns up.
Make yourself sound cool. Don't tell
Oh, sorry, no. I mean, I occasionally...
don't sound desperate. Occasionally pop in.
Occasionally pop in. I'm there literally every day.
But you don't get access to the actors in any other game than like ours that actually go in and join the community. So, please go and buy the game and enjoy it. And, it's brilliant. It is brilliant. And I say so myself, being one of the developers. But... it is brilliant. We've got a world record, Andy. What else can I say? And we were nominated for a BAFTA.
We were. That's true. We justified these 3 DLCs.
Yeah, they don't lie. That's worth 30% of the prize. Surely.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. It was nominated before that 70%.
I know. And I was telling you we didn't win, isn't it? No, we had to reduce it. If we won, we would have put the prize up. Fucking business, eh?
I noticed it's on your Steam page, though. It's like we're going to subtly put that on the middle of it.
We are. We're not going to win.
Yeah, you prize as much as you can.
Yeah, that ticking banner, technically, one of those images we shouldn't have up anymore, but we're rolling with it.
Just pop that on. Just let everyone know on the stream.
Yeah, exactly. No one will know.
We won't mention it.
You won't know which one it is.
I mean, yeah.
So anyway,
moving on.
There was a question earlier from someone for you that said, who would win in a fight?
Yes.
Peter or Roger?
I saw that.
I think Peter, because he's absolutely merciless and he's going to be violently cheating. Whereas I'm too kind.
You are lovely.
I'd back off. It's up to you, Peter. He would absolutely slaughter me. He'd kick me in the nuts. Describe them in a very embarrassing manner. Compare his to mine. And I think I'd be demoralised and beaten.
And then I think you'd apologise for being in the way.
I would. Sorry, did my testicles hurt your like it is.
Claire, Julia or you, who'd win in a fight?
I reckon I could take
I
it.
was going to take
Well, I think. Does it matter where Julia starts in the game versus where she ends in the game?
Because she's got people to do it for her.
Yeah, if you could get close to her.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think she's violent. I think she has power.
Yeah, well, she gets more ruthless.
So if it was a one-on-one, like in an alleyway, I reckon I could take her. Right?
She is pretty vicious though, and she has she's clearly got a side to her that can come out, and as in one of the later scenes you see when she goes into like default mode when something out of the blue happens, and she goes into that moment.
How does he do it? He's like a professional.
You can tell that she's calm and collected, but would be. I think you'd have a good fight on your hands there.
Well, because
I've seen you off camera, you're an animal.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I think it's vicious on vicious there. I think it could be quite good fun. I'm all for it. Let's make that happen. Through the art of magic and TV, we can make that happen.
I don't think we can on our budget.
Just before we go to a break, I'm going to leave you on this. Claire's going to love me for telling you this. At some point, there is going to be a video released, if I can find it.
What did you do?
Of one day on set, Claire turned up, and we asked her. Because we're on such a low budget, we occasionally go, right, we just need a plain white shirt. So we'll ask the actor, can you please just wear a plain shirt? So we had done this one day. Claire turns up. Right, and bearing in mind, this must have taken so long to prepare. She walks in, Claire is wearing head to toe a full dinosaur outfit with tail and everything. She just walks on set and goes, "Will this do, guys?" Brilliant. Right, we're going to go to a break now. I just wanted to get that so that it is on record that we have said that she turned up in a dinosaur. We're going to go to a break. We're going to watch some clips, some trailers of the base game, the console, VR, Boyle, console. I'm looking at Zara console. The main game, the console, and the bits of your life that came out 1 hour and 37 minutes ago. Enjoy the trailers. Here they are.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight. But first, the votes are in and it's a decisive win for Advance.
What do you make of this historic election result?
So perhaps we should all be celebrating. Except for the rich.
I mean, a lawyer and a TV personality running the country. Seriously?
We've had worse.
What does the future look like to you?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission. Let's have a go with this whole democracy thing.
Okay.
And here we valley well are.
Good stuff.
Brilliant!
So,
A mysterious symbol has appeared overnight. Could this be the daring first move of a silent resistance movement?
Yeah, a government. Good bond. Peter Clement. There are some pissants who just don't know how to be.
And an attempt was made to censor some of it.
What? Are you joking?
We're only getting started.
Not disrupt. Not resistance. Oh, Alex, you're going to get me in trouble with that.
Your channel is a f***ing disgrace.
I'm sorry, it's very hot. But before we all hand off our frigates, should we ask them who we're handing them over?
Please, we can't show it. Cut to the ads.
Give us a hug.
If you fire a single shot, initial estimates put the death toll into the millions.
Mr. Blundercatch, I understand you're upset, but we can...
Jesus!
Good job, everybody.
Well, if that doesn't distract you from the world outside, I don't know what will.
That's all coming up on tonight's
National Nightly
News. Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight. But first, the votes are in and it's a decisive win for Advance.
What do you make of this historic election result?
So perhaps we should all be celebrating. Except for the rich.
I mean, a lawyer and a TV personality running the country. Seriously?
We've had worse.
What does the future look like to you?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission. Let's have a go with this whole democracy thing.
Okay.
And here we valley well are.
Good stuff.
Brilliant!
So,
A mysterious symbol has appeared overnight. Could this be the daring first move of a silent resistance movement?
Yeah, a government. Good bond. Peter Clement. There are some pissants who just don't know how to be.
and an attempt was made to censor some of your looks.
What? Are you joking?
We're only getting started.
No disrupt. No resistance. Oh, Alex, you're going to get me in trouble with that.
Your channel is a f***ing disgrace.
I'm sorry, it's very hot. But before we all hand off our freedoms, should we ask them who we're handing them over?
Please, we can't show it. Cut to the ads.
Give us a hug.
If you fire a single shot,
Initial estimates put the death toll into the millions. Mr. Blundercatch, I understand you're upset, but we can...
Jesus!
Good job, everybody!
Well, if that doesn't distract you from the world outside, I don't know what will.
That's all coming up on tonight's
National Nightly News.
Good evening. My name is Peter Clement. You might remember me from television programs like Just the Job and Petey. In those shows, I got to know you, the public.
We want our money. Yes, very good. Take them away.
And I came to the conclusion that you deserve more than you are getting.
Here, buy yourself something nice. Buy yourself something twice as nice. Buy yourself something thrice as nice. Get yourself down and take some money.
And that's why I'm running as Prime Minister with my co-leader, Julia Salisbury.
Are we friends?
I bloody hope so, or I've made a dreadful mistake.
With us in charge, things will be fairer. Things will be calmer.
There is not gonna be a thing, Eric.
I look around the world and like you, I see the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer.
That, Peter Clement, is the reason you wake up in morning in cell facing firing squad, yes?
But if you lend me your vote in 7 weeks' time, maybe,
These two will up your life.
we can make the world sane again. And as my old mam used to say,
Well, if you got a pretty chuff, you should wave it in the fellas' faces, as they say down the pit.
thank you very much for your time.
Together now.
The last bit of what, Joe?
The last bit of the launch stream for Bits of Your Life, which is the second DLC for Not for Broadcast, which is on sale right now at 70% off. We are the 4 devs who are losing money hand over fist thanks to that discount. These are the 2 actors who have already been paid and give no fucks about it whatsoever.
And we've taken the rest of their income.
Yeah. We've had with us throughout this stream the amazing Roger Albright and Claire Ratcliffe, who are 2 of the stars of Not for Broadcast, who characters you will grow to both love and hate as the story progresses, depending kind of on how you play it, 'cause it's kind of going to be your fault. Excellent. So, chat, if you have any final questions you want to ask, we're in the last 10-15 minutes of this launch stream now. Chuck in questions that maybe let's wander away from totally surreal just for 3 or 4 minutes. That would be lovely.
Or we could just sit here in silence for 10 minutes.
We could try
and that'd be the first time
Peaceful
all day.
bliss.
I think it'd be quite nice. I am practicing mindfulness at the
I
minute.
might fall asleep. That is the only issue. Any moment of silence, I fall asleep.
Still having a young child, are we?
Yeah.
Yeah. You decided to keep it. It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really easy.
I think if you could put babies in battle fatigues, you could have them for war crimes.
Oh, mate. Honestly.
Sleep deprivation.
Yeah. It is ridiculous. But when I was telling people who were wanting kids how much sleep I got in the first couple of months, that I was like, it is literally torture.
Yeah.
Like, it is sleep deprivation is a torture.
Yeah,
You're getting 2
yeah.
hours sleep. It's ridiculous.
Look at his eyes. He hasn't recovered.
By the game.
I could send her to military school. He really wants an au pair.
Just enough money for him to send her away to boarding.
For one night. One night. That's all I need.
Oh, great question. Who was the better Prime Minister, Julia or Peter?
Without spoiling the entire plot.
Preferably.
Difficult because the word Prime Minister. There's like they each have their redeeming qualities, right? I think Peter's much more humane.
I'm not sure how much
less
Peter actually would
efficient.
get done.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Without Julia, very little.
Yeah, I'd support that though. I like the way Peter.
You like Prime Ministers that don't get very much done.
Or if they do, they just don't remember what they did.
Yeah, I mean, it depends which way you go with Peter. Obviously, the whole point of the game is you get to edit, and the way that your edit decisions change the course of the story. So I would go with a very concentrated, let's put it that way. That's the way I would go, and I think that's a pretty good. Like, yeah, it might not get everything done.
I agree with you actually. I think if you take Peter, because Peter, I think of the two characters, responds more to your editing than Julia does. And like you say, if you take Peter on a fairly healthy path, then he's quite a nice Prime Minister.
Not bad,
Yeah, but it's not as much fun. Is it?
No, it is way more fun to make his life a living hell and watch what happens. I mean,
isn't that part of why he's potentially, just to play devil's advocate, not a good Prime Minister? Is that he's so
He wants to be
unreliable
liked,
because he might just have a drink and fuck it all
Well,
up.
that's down to them. It's not down to me. Nothing to do with me, though.
He did the voice.
It is you.
Oh my god, it's Peter Clement.
So weird.
Who it was.
Yeah, this other voice was just a construct.
Go on, Claire, make the case for Julia.
What for Peter? I think Peter is better. Well, I mean, at advance.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, I can't do it. The problem is, I said this to Jay. I was like, I can't even do it because it's not scripted. I can't do it. So I don't think they work individually, right? And that's kind of why you wrote it. But I mean, obviously, I would say Julia is a better Prime Minister in that she's smarter, like just more organised, action-driven, will get stuff done, has a clear point of view.
Not an alcoholic.
Not an alcoholic.
Yeah, arguably they wouldn't have got elected without Julia actually making everything happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
So actually, I think Julia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, early Julia, which you will see in bits of your life that's out now. Like early Julia, really driven and is like really, you can tell that has a passion for it. And then when you watch the base game, you can see that slowly drifting away and that love kind of disappearing.
She cares.
Yeah,
cares
I don't think it's
all
fair
the
to
way.
say she doesn't care. I think it's just she gets beaten down by the choices she has to make.
Difficult being in power. Sometimes you've got to make a choice for the greater good.
Ah, there we go.
Very
Now
good.
it begins.
Yeah, there's slippery
Here we go. Yeah.
That's a very good question.
Poland.
If you could write your own sort of bonus chapter about what would you cover for your set on your presumably about your character?
Yeah, what parts?
Where Sarah would say Jenny's travel show, where war.
Do we have to be in it together?
No.
Okay.
Whatever you want.
You don't have to be in it at all if you.
You could pick a completely different part of North Broadcast for your own theme, but it would feel weird.
I don't know.
I'd like to go through an autumnal stroll through bottles of wine that Peter's drunk.
Oh, you could actually do like a wine show, like
wine tasting
or like
show.
Why am I still not Prime Minister?
What's the guy that goes round to all the travel places and tries wine and does like
Michael Portillo.
Anthony Bourdain.
I don't know, neither of those two. But yeah, you could totally have like your own wine show and just go try stuff out. Yeah,
I'd love
there
it.
you go, do that.
Yeah.
Don't
What
I
about you?
I mean, what's your budget? I'd really like
Zero.
to be in
And a
Disney,
Twix.
and
If you want to meet Elsa.
I wanna meet Elsa. Julia meets Elsa, and they have a lovely night, having a nice dinner.
They become best friends.
They become best friends, and she goes and lives in the castle.
That crossover probably not going to happen for legal reasons.
Licensing that song alone is an entire decade budget.
Unless for some reason Disney want to fund it, in which case.
Yes.
Yeah, we're up for that.
We're with you all the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Our overlord. George, someone called George says something about Patrick becoming PM. But,
Never going to happen.
No.
Never
He's
going
too
to
much of an
happen. You'll
idiot.
never see Patrick.
Comes across a bit desperate, that George
It's
guy,
the
doesn't he?
punchable face, I think, that doesn't garner the voters' love.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say though about George Bruv 772 is in the latest thing that I see that I've watched. It is possibly the hardest I have ever laughed at not for broadcast content. Like, and I haven't told him to his face, but there's some brilliant stuff. But I was sitting out here
crying with laughter,
and I was there filming it all day, and I still found it hilarious.
And the best
That's
thing
what
about
Big
that,
Chris does to me.
Yeah.
The best thing about that, of course, is DLC 3 will be available in the future, and today the whole package is at an excellent deal. And if you grab it today, as soon as you'll own it when it comes out, it will just appear, and you too can cry with laughter at George Bruv 772.
Don't say you
Also known
too.
as Patrick Dan.
You too will install it on your machine without Bono will just install the game for you. Federal asking you to say motivational advanced leader stuff, which we're not going to do because obviously they're actors, they're not actually the Prime Minister. Although to be fair,
I was saying this to Jake. I was saying this to Jake. Like, I hate to burst the bubble, right? I don't know half the words I'm saying, and some of them are a little bit too clever for me, and I had to ask you how to pronounce them.
You only learned English. Like 4 years ago when we started this game. Speaks fluent Finnish.
You can actually chart Claire's Duolingo.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's different. It's what a lot of actors get asked that when they come on and chat with us. But of course, it's, you know, you guys and we all know them so well as these characters. But of course, it's a very different thing to prepare for a role and read a script than to sort of improvise in character.
When the
live.
writers are next to you.
Yes, and will be mad about it.
Sitting and go, no, she wouldn't.
She
say
would
that.
never say that.
I sometimes do send like shitty notes and things like to people saying no, they wouldn't say that. Like, you know,
it's ruin the fun.
Yeah, really. Like, no, doesn't speak that way.
We are coming to the end of the stream. I'm trying to wrap it up because I can see they're working tirelessly. As you can see, the wide is running low on battery. We've already lost the other camera. The only camera that's working.
The mushrooms are kicking in, Dad.
So to save you guys from watching us in block form, we should
my best
probably.
form.
And that's the other camera. That's the backwards
Went down to this one.
So we're going to come round here because this is the only live camera.
Yeah, Andy, come on.
Come on, everyone, come on this camera.
Come on in.
There's room here. Al.
We're
Come on.
all in.
We'll get you
We're
in
just
here.
going to say a huge thank you.
Just don't look at it. Which one are we looking at? That one.
Right down there.
that
We want to say a huge thank you to everyone that has joined us this evening for this extravaganza hour and 2 hours or whatever it's been of playing our game and chatting. Roger, thank you so much. This is carnage. So much for coming in and giving up your time to come and do this with us. It's been brilliant catching up with you guys. Thank you to everyone out there that has been joining us for this stream.
Yes.
This will be on a rerun, so if you have missed it and
Unbelievably.
it's got rerun down the bottom, then you're going to enjoy it down there. We're going to wrap this up now. Here is the trailer of our latest game. Please go out, buy it, support it. We're Not Games. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Roger.
Thank
Thank
you.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight. But first, the votes are in and it's a decisive win for Advance.
What do you make of this historic election result?
So perhaps we should all be celebrating. Except for the rich.
I mean, a lawyer and a TV personality running the country. Seriously?
We've had worse.
What does the future look like to you?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission.
Let's have a go with this whole democracy thing.
Okay.
And here we bally well are.
Good stuff.
Brilliant!
So,
A mysterious symbol has appeared overnight. Could this be the daring first move of a silent resistance movement?
Yeah, a government. A bond. Peter Clement.
There are some pissants who just don't know how to be.
And an attempt was made to censor some of it.
What? Are you joking?
We're only getting started.
No disrupt. No resistance. Oh, Alex, you're going to get me in trouble with that.
Your channel is a f***ing disgrace.
I'm sorry, it's very hot. But before we all hand off our freedoms, should we ask them who we're handing them over?
Please, we can't cut to the ads.
Give us a hug.
If you fire a single shot, initial estimates put the death toll into the millions.
Mr. Blundercatch, I understand you're upset, but we can...
Jesus!
Good job, everybody.
Neil, at least then.
Well, if that doesn't distract you from the world outside, I don't know what will.
That's all coming up on tonight's
National Nightly News.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight. But first, the votes are in and it's a decisive win for Advance.
What do you make of this historic election?